Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake! This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy, your voice of choice. The world's only 12-hour strong man on the air. And that's the truth.
Welcome to Bennington.
I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise I won't bore you.
I want you to take your hand out of that bowl of Fritos, throw away your National Enquirer, and pick up the phone. Go ahead, pick it up. Talk radio. It's the last neighborhood in town. People just don't talk to each other anymore.
You would be very lucky if in your whole life you saw the work of one genius.
The form of the tragic autobiography is dead. Goodbye, written word. So I have chosen this form, radio, to author my life.
Hashtag Bennington.
This is Mr. Senior Love Daddy doing the nasty to your ears to the nasty. Eyes only play the platters that matter, the matters they platter. And that's the truth.
Let's see, P.P. Arnold, if you think you're groovy.
Well, thank you, P.P. Arnold, our house band today. You are listening to Bennington. I'm Ron Bennington. With me, as always, Gail Bennington. No relation. This was your choice today.
It was.
You took a long step back into the 60s.
Did a great leap back into the 60s.
How did you even
time.
How did you even get into her?
I was discussing with somebody, some of my favorite ladies, Marvelettes, Ronettes, and they said, what about old P.P. Arnold?
So you have a big thing for the girl group of the 60s.
Maybe my favorite genre time. It's a very like kind of slim section, but
it's a very very thin era, but a cool one.
It's a very cool one.
Yeah, and
it did not last long, but
I've been lucky enough to have a bunch of those people on the show before, and it's like never lost on me. Like you could just like walk down the hall, look out the window, and see the Brill Building, where all those people were at.
Right, so wild. You always have Miss Ronnie Spector on, who is my favorite.
Ronnie Spector, who is the rock star of rock stars.
Absolutely.
I always bring this up to people. I bring it up to Ronnie all the time. That like if you could see the way the Stones look like before they met her and then after they met her.
Oh, yeah.
They became like a band of Ronnie Spectors.
It's true. They were definitely emulating the energy of those women, which is kind of weird. They had their same style and their, like delivery and their stage presence.
Now, where do you throw the Supremes into that? Do you think that's a whole different thing? Because the Supremes came like a...
I think it's kind of a later...
But it's not that much later. You know what I mean? Like, it's like 9 months or something. But yeah, the whole feeling, they were like the little ladies. It's like, well, we have long gloves on and we're wearing silk things.
Exactly. And P.P. Arnold was an Ikette first. She was one of the Ikettes. Not the original three, but I think like one of the next. Because I think they replaced the first.
Ikettes were literally the sexiest things that ever happened to the planet Earth.
Yeah.
I talked to Ike Turner one time when I was younger, and he was on the phone. He was doing something, traveling around. And I don't know, we brought up Tina Turner to him because we were young and stupid. Just like, what about Tina Turner? Like that's what he wants to hear. You were married to Tina Turner once. So he was like this. Then this was the funniest line. He goes like this. Look, now I got faux Tinas. He just acted like any girl he was with was basically a Tina.
That's hilarious. But that can't be true.
They don't step out of line. Ike Turner is amazingly underrated, though, because everybody acts like he was just the guy who held back Tina. But, I mean, he was when he wasn't hitting women.
Sure.
He invented rock and roll. You know what I mean? He was there before everybody. All right, it is Bennington. Hashtag Bennington if you're on the Twitter tweets. If you're on Snapchat, you're on your own Instagram. I'm not sure how that works. Do have a MySpace, and I can't get anybody to talk to me on there right now.
What about your live journal?
I consider myself the king of MySpace. MySpace is it kind of looks like Escape from New York when you go in there.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
It's just the wreckage of an earlier time.
There's like, I don't know what my password or anything of my account, so somewhere there's a shrine of me like.
What year was MySpace over? Like 2006?
I mean, for me, yeah, I think so because when my school got into Facebook, because that's how it started, was just like they were
it was the Facebook then.
The Facebook. And it was just like a slow transition. So it probably would have been about that time.
Well, what's funny is like, even though it felt slow to you, again, it's probably that 3 to 9 months. And if you ever go and look at MySpace, it's almost like a nuke went off there, and you could just see the way people you could see just like bowls of cereal that were left out, and children's toys. Life was going on here at one time.
I had a hard time making the switch because I just felt like I've put a lot of commitment into this stupid thing that doesn't mean anything.
Right.
And now I have to get a new stupid thing that doesn't mean anything.
I remember when I would say to people, you're going to go to this party or this night out. And they would go, I want to, but I really want to work on my MySpace tonight. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you want to stay home and work on your MySpace? What are you,
make
nuts?
Sure it's MySpace and everything is mine.
I got so many friends right now that are depending upon me. I've got pictures of cats up there that I like.
Pre-MySpace was Friendster?
Friendster, which I got to tell you the truth, I know nothing about.
Yeah, I knew people who had it. And I was like, this seems like a silly thing.
Everything's silly. Like everything that you do that seems cool, whatever new app, you're going to look back as ridiculous.
And even before that, there was something that I think was called makeoutclub.com. And it was somewhere in between, it was just like a profile thing, and then you could get friends.
Yeah.
And a lot of my friends had it, and I was like, that seems really weird.
Right.
Your face is on there? Why would your face be? Like, it was really strange to me, and I never did it. Also, the name was weird. Makeout club? No one's making out.
Well,
What's
if you're in
it on?
8th grade, you could go to a makeout club. They're having a makeout party in a couple days.
Someone explained to me with Friendster, I was very confused about what its purpose was. And they were like, it's a popularity contest. And Jay Miller is winning. That's how it was explained to me.
Well, he's still winning.
He is.
Have you seen his TV show?
I have seen a couple things. I haven't seen.
You know what? He
show.
actually, Jay Miller is from a great band of the millennium, which was called
Monty Love.
The Great Monty Love. And I thought his name was Monty Love. And
He went by Monty.
Yeah, but I think it's crazy that he doesn't call his TV show Monty Love.
I know.
But I forget what it was, tweeted from the Ron and Fez thing, because I just saw him on TV with his crazy show. And because he came on right after Chris Gethard, and before Chris Gethard, jumped to whatever he's Fusion. So, and then the other day he sent something. I don't run our Twitter account. Mm-hmm. So I said to Chris, I go, oh, Monty Love is trying to get a hold of us, get back in touch with him. And then Chris went like this, I got it. And then I never heard from it again. That's Chris's way of saying, I want you to stop talking to me right now. Lock it in. It's done.
We should have a Monty Love house band.
We should have today, but, it never came up. But it's not going to give us much time because all the
30-second songs.
Yeah. 30 seconds is them jamming. That's Monty Love when they just kick it out. And it's a long guitar solo.
So bizarre, this
Mid Evenings with Jay Miller is the name of the show, and it's fantastic. I make sure I try to watch it every week, and he's bizarrely hysterical.
That's awesome.
Do you ever remember the WrestleMania that he went to?
I do, yeah.
And his hat, his self-made hat,
yes.
what he wrote on it?
I'm
going to tell you. So he's going to WrestleMania, and he has a hat that he made up himself. I guess it was that whole DIY movement that was going on. And his hat just simply said, wrestle. Which he seemed like he was wearing without irony. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it was the funniest thing I ever saw. But he seemed like, no, this is what I want to do.
Wrestle.
Just wrestle. Big loss for New York City last night. David Carr passed away, who was from the New York Times. And, I had just seen him on TV 2 days ago talking about Brian Williams. But David Carr was a guy, and it always makes me mad when this happens. When his book came out, I loved it. I love any book really about people overcoming addiction and getting, their life back together. But it was also weird because he was a New York Times columnist, writer, journalist, but it also was steeped in the early Minnesota punk scene. You know what I mean? So it just seemed weird. Like at the time, it didn't seem like you could be obsessed with the Replacements. You know what I mean? And then later, write for the New York Times and be a junkie, you know what I mean? And then later write for the New York Times. But he was always brilliant. He was supposed to do the show one time when there was this documentary that came out called Front Page. I think it was Front Page or Page One about the New York Times, and he was amazing in it. So we had him and another guy from the Times book, and at the last minute they said, oh, something came up, the other guy will be there. And we were all just like, ugh. And Chris is yelling, should I cancel him? I'm like, no, just... please, just let me cancel him. I got this, And I'm like, no, please. But I always thought, he was one of those people. I thought, oh, well, I'll be able to hook up with him later. And it's always weird because he was doing this stuff for the New York Times over at their building. And we would interview a lot of the same people on the tours, And the fact that he's gone is just shocking. We've lost a couple. Well, he's 58, but, hard 58. I mean, lived hard. And I just saw him a couple days ago on the CBS Sunday morning. No, not Sunday morning, the regular morning show with Charlie Rose. And I was like, man, his eyes kind of look red. I hope he's okay.
Yeah. When did his book come out?
Wow, that's a good question. I think it was like 4 years ago or something, 5 years ago, or maybe that's just when I read it. But it's a really, it's just one of those guys that could just write his ass off and also could sit and talk. Like if a situation came up anywhere in the news, you could count on him to just be opinionated about it like he'd been thinking about it a long time. Always my favorite people, Yeah. Always my favorite people who's just like, yeah, I'm ready to talk about that right now. Kathleen Madigan was in here yesterday and went through so many topics.
I heard that interview. Yeah, she's kind of
great.
Kind of like, amazing, like kind of firecracker energy about everything she talks about.
And then I also love the fact that she's like, no, I wouldn't do that. Sounds too hard. You know what I mean? Kind of like my life, just working sometimes.
I respect that in a person.
Well, it's so great when you finally get around to doing that. People would contact me sometimes about books, and I'm just like, I don't think I want to do homework.
It's a lot of work.
Work. Where here you're just talking about shit and all, and people would go, "Hey, if you would write that down." I was like, if it came natural to me to write things down, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'd much rather be called a writer than,
sure,
chat host or whatever you're called in England. They make it really sound embarrassing to have a talk show in England.
Writing is a lot of work, and it's pretty much against everything natural. Like you're like, go away in a room, spend time with yourself. Put your thoughts out in that way. It's very...
Well, if you could just put your thoughts out that would be good, then I would do it. But it's just like, you're like, okay, I've been writing, and I wrote, shit was crazy when I was young. We were some fucking crazy bastards. You look at it, and you're like, who typed this shit? It's dumb.
I'm going to need a ghostwriter.
Me saw the Stones. Yeah, but I don't know if I respect anybody with a ghostwriter. A co-writer, maybe, but the ghostwriter is like what football players do.
Right. That's...
Yeah, I wrote a book called Bring Some, Get Some. And you're like, you didn't write this. You're lying. And always, because they sent me the sports book, it always starts the same way. Dirt poor and beat up in the neighborhood. And you're just like, okay, yeah. We all ate the same toast. I get it. There's one piece of toast. It's always the same way. Or when rock guys write, if any rock guy ever writes a book, you're like, I'm going to start in chapter 2 when the band's forming. Not, spring came late to Manchester. Father would always bring home pots of jam. You're just like, who gives a shit?
For some reason, in everyone's story, they were very poor. No one wants to say, I actually led a pretty privileged life, or like...
Took me till I was 17 till I realized how rich we were.
We were quite comfortable.
Father would send me out back with the manservants to play soccer kicks. No one ever did well. I don't know what happens to rich people, but they generally don't start bands.
Right.
They don't quarterback football teams.
But I also just think regular people claim that as well.
Everyone thinks that their life is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot, but just regular people will often say, like, we were so poor.
Right.
And then you're halfway through the story and you're like, I don't know how poor that sounds.
You're sitting here talking about your vacation at Disney World. Poverty, that's not a place of poverty.
Oh, it was hard. Ski lessons, though. That happened.
We were down to one nanny, and she was white and kind of cold. I was always the funny thing, like when you see stuff about the Old South, it's like black people, they can't drink out of our fountains. They can't go to the theater with us, but they can wash our children and put them to bed at night. What?
Bizarre.
What? When our children would hurt their ankle, they would run to Mammy instead of us. You're like, what? I thought you were prejudiced. Not that prejudiced. Not prejudiced enough to take care of my own children.
Mammy was all right.
Mammy was great. She was like a part of our family. That is what happens. Like if you have somebody who works for you, before you know it, they're like, please sit down and eat with us. Don't worry about the dishes. We'll all do them together. You know what I mean? Like instead of just having someone there to do their job, you're just like, we've got to do something about getting her sister into the country. You know, everyone's sitting around working on it. Yeah.
Well, to be served, I think eventually, people have to see that another person is giving to their life. It's crazy. It's like,
that's true. I wish I would have caught on to that with my own mother. Oh no,
mothers don't count.
Oh no, she likes cooking.
She'll get that. Put that down.
Please. It's nothing. She'll have it done in an hour and a half. Mom, take this plate away. I'm looking at cartoons. Whoosh. You see, I'm finishing up this cake. I'm watching cartoons.
Could you get that for me? Thanks.
No one is ever like truly good to their mom, and that's why I think like later in life people get really adamant, you know, because like they're like, that woman's a saint. Don't you disrespect her, because you just feel how awful you were when you were a kid. You know, today's Friday the 13th.
It is. Spooky.
Is it spooky or no? I don't think it's not like Halloween, right?
I don't know what it is.
It's ooh, chocolate. No, what are you saying? You're just trying to guess what the right answer is. No, Friday the 13th is just like superstition, not ghosts.
Cautious.
Cautious. No, that's just about, there's no ghosts, there's no zombies.
Well, there's the movie. That's scary.
Friday the 13th was just a regular dude, though, right? In a hockey mask? Or am I got him confused with the other?
I actually don't know anything about those movies, which is... I get...
Don't go camping today. That's an important thing.
Do not. There's the hockey mask one, and then there's the Star Trek mask one.
Star Trek mask?
Yeah. That's what
are you talking about? Star Trek was a horror movie deal?
No.
They used to beam people.
Okay, there's Michael. Which one's Michael Myers?
He's the funny guy who does the British accent. Hello, baby.
Him I like.
Yeah. He doesn't hurt anyone. His teeth are bad.
That one. Look, that one is that's actually a Captain Kirk mask.
You're drunk.
I swear to you.
You drank before you got here.
I swear.
That does not look like Captain Kirk to me.
It is, though. And then they spray painted it white. Look, see up there.
So you're trying to tell people that Captain Kirk went around stabbing?
No, he didn't. But that is the mask. That's what they used.
Who's they? The filmmakers?
The filmmakers.
Back then, the Indians. The Indians used to use Captain Kirk that way.
Our forefathers who brought us Halloween. See, now we're playing Halloween and it's Friday the 13th.
I know. We completely got off all because you said spooky. Spooky. Friday the 13th was Hockey Mask. Okay. And Hockey Mask and that's what they called him, Hockey Mask. Watch out for Hockey Mask. But he would hide around campgrounds and then stab people after they had sex.
And what's his name? The Hockey Mask.
They call him Hockey Mask. That's his name in the movies. No, he's I think Justin.
No, it can't be Justin.
Yeah, because I remember
Jason.
Jason. There it is. Jason Loves Kelly is a movie that I tried to get off the ground for a couple years. Now the thing about Jason was that he would never use a gun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why none of those guys would think to themselves, I'll get a sniper rifle and shoot them all from far away. He was always using drills, corkscrews.
Pleasurable to him to kill.
Oh, I see.
It's about the pleasure.
In real life, they would have caught that idiot by the end of the weekend.
Right, hopefully.
Well, it wouldn't even be a hopefully. That we just catch people so easily now. But
who's the one with the meat face? That one I don't like.
That's Fez. No, and that's the steroids that make him look that way. He's trying to heal.
That's not who I meant. That is not who I meant.
Meat face. I think we all have meat faces if you think about it. I'm going to write a book.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's the meat face one.
Why do you call him meat face?
Doesn't he have some sort of a skin face?
I just think that what you're saying is bullying.
He does.
We all have skin faces and meat faces. Isn't there like muscle under the skin that helps him make expressions? Some
people know a lot about the slasher film. This is like when they say, "Oh yeah, I'm a film buff," and then that's what they like.
Yeah, they're called dopes. No, there are some people who just love
and
horror. I know.
Their genre.
I've had some of them in before because they do like Chiller Fest or something in New Jersey, and they can stupidly talk about all these films that go on and on. But, it used to be like a really great way to break into filmmaking because you could make one of these films for next to nothing.
Yeah. And get a cult following.
Yeah, if it caught a wave, you know what I mean? Back when they used to have drive-ins and grindhouses and shit like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we made it for $80,000 and we made millions. So now we get to make another one. And they go like this, more horror. Meat face goes out again, but this time he's also with skin face and hair scalp. Who was the guy who had the shoes on? He was always wearing shoes outside.
I don't know a lot about
I think that
horror.
we could probably come up with a horror franchise. Well, I remember you came to me one time and you said, was there a reason that you didn't let us watch horror films?
Yeah.
And remember what I said to you? I said they suck.
Yeah.
And I don't care whether or not you're frightened. I just don't want to sit there and watch a shitty movie.
Yeah. That's kind of how my relationship is with it now because I wasn't raised on it. Now,
some people are.
Some people are, yeah. Some people are like, have been watching, slasher films since they were kids. And so they have a passion about it now. But now when I see a horror movie, I'm just very scared, and I don't want to feel. I don't want to feel that way.
I just think of it as like visual heavy metal. You know what I mean? Like if you're somebody who just wants your nerve endings attacked, if that's what you think music and film is, okay, it's there for you. But I don't get the point. I mean, I guess I would watch more of these if I hated women, but
yeah, you definitely have to dislike women,
or feel maybe you don't dislike them, but you just think they're slutty and deserve to die for being sexual. That's the important part of these things. And I would just love to be there at the pitch when they do that. All right, these kids, and then, she's in the water and, she takes her shirt off so her breasts are out. And a man comes out of the woods, just starts smashing her with an axe. It's great.
People will love it.
James, you're on the Run of Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? What do you say, dude?
I'm sorry. She's right, though. The Michael Myers mask, when they made the first Halloween, it was on such a low budget, they went to a costume store and got a Captain Kirk mask.
But see, here's the thing.
Did the hair.
For the same money at that time, they could have hired William Shatner.
They made the movie on $12, man. Come on.
Yeah, they make them for nothing, and they keep making more of them. Matt, you're on the Run of Fez show.
I think the name she's thinking of is Leatherface.
Leatherface!
Oh, not meat face or skin face. Leatherface.
That's right. That's a better name.
Robert in Boston.
Hey, Gail. Hey, Ron. How are you?
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, so I used to be really into horror movies, Friday the 13th movies. And, my first tattoo when I was 18, I said, well, what's something I'm really going to like for the rest of my life? And, I love Jason. So I got a huge tattoo of Jason on my back when I was 18. Now I'm 37, and I've totally grown out of it. And now I'm stuck with this friggin', it's a nice piece of artwork, but it's Jason with a hatchet on my back. And I have to, not many people see my back, I guess, but,
No, until there's some kid missing in your neighborhood and someone had seen you at the pool and they're like, you know who I think grabbed her? Is that guy with Jason on his back.
People, they're like, I'm like the cousin. You don't want to be like your cousin Bobby and get a tattoo. I'm like the guy that they point to. They're like, you don't want a tattoo like Bobby. Look at now he regrets it. Now he's
Bobby's tattoo.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's got a fucking Jason on his back. He's a meth head, that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know. I had an uncle who had tattoos. Most of them looking very jailhouse. And over his nipples, he had sweet and sour written in. And it just
I would be more proud
seemed
to
like
have that.
when I was a kid, not something I thought I would do.
It's like having to explain that.
Yeah.
Especially to a child.
Yeah, well, then he would always be that guy that, when he'd get a little bit of load on, he'd go like this. You see these tattoos? I ever see you around a tattoo place, I'm going to kick your ass. But you know what I mean? Like, okay, I understand. So you're the only one who can understand I don't want ink under my skin. Because you've been through it. Stop treating your tattoos like they were Vietnam. A lot of us went off to the tattoo place that day. We were young and naive, just a bunch of toe-headed kids whistling. I came back with sweet and sour over my nipples. One time, I think he was on his honeymoon, and it's a true story, and my mom would punch me in the neck for sharing it. But they actually came over to him at the pool and said, sir, could you please put a T-shirt on? Could you put a T-shirt on over your hideous tattoos that you have? It's the sweet and sour that's annoyed everybody.
It's really the one that's.
And he even had knuckle tattoos and stuff.
Man, it's pretty badass for that time. Man.
Well, yeah, that was back when you either had to be a sailor or somewhat on the edgy side of the world to have a tattoo.
Right. And he wasn't either of those things.
Well, he was pretty edgy. He had his own edginess.
I heard he swam right to Turkey Point.
Well, that was his dad.
Oh.
His dad swam to Turkey Point. I don't think he swam far. Not with those. not with a wet T-shirt on. How far are you going to get? I could have made it, but this shirt is just pulling me down. Anyway, we got here from the fact that it's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th turns into bad male nipple tattoos.
Did Jason strike on Friday the 13th? Is that the idea?
What do you mean strike? Like he didn't work that day?
No, I don't.
Like if I was a serial killer, I wouldn't kill anybody today. I'd be like, this is an amateur night. You know what I mean?
This and Halloween, you always take off.
Yeah, I would take off like I don't need it,
Bunch of kids running around.
Yeah. One bunch of wannabe posers. Yeah, he would only kill people on Friday the 13th. That was his thing. And if you could just hold off till midnight, till it was Friday the 14th, he would then just enter your dreams with claws.
No, that's the other one. That's
Santa Claus.
Fred.
What?
Freddy.
Fred Krueger. Hi, I'm Fred Krueger. I'm going to be coaching you kids this semester. Now drop and give me 20. Fred Krueger just seems like a guy who is way too much in athletics.
I'm Fred. He's got a high stance, like a leg up.
Yeah,
high
he
leg
does.
up. All right, kids.
Yeah. Fred Krueger, he would enter your dreams, and he could have also been called Leatherface.
He should have been.
He's
one thing, brain face.
Yeah, one thing that these movies teach us is to fear unattractive people. If we were to make a horror film,
because he's really just, I think, a burn victim, which is kind of sad.
well, yeah, but it came from smoking in bed, so you know what I mean.
It's a good
You're calling it
lesson.
on. All right, I got an idea of one that we could do. It's a horror film called Blade, and it's about people with blade legs, and they just go around and they just keep kicking children until they slice them up. And that way, if you see anyone with a blade leg, you'll be able to stay away from them.
That's really scary.
Yeah. I wrote up another one that I thought was good. I pitched it out in Hollywood. It was just called Dominican Neighborhood. And it was about being in a neighborhood full of Dominicans.
Spooky.
Yeah, I was told that it was too controversial. And I go, okay, so chopping up people, man, I'm laying something on you. Dominican Neighborhood. So this is it. You're in a neighborhood and it's just filled with Dominicans.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Music's blaring. Ernest in Houston, you're on Bennington.
Hey, how's it going, Bennington?
Hey.
Yeah, you guys were talking about offensive tattoos that sweet and sour over the nipples.
Not really.
I was at a gym. So I was at a gym one day, and I saw a tattoo on a guy's leg, and it made me look twice. And I was pretty sure it was Freddie and his wife from the Flintstones, and they were 69ing on his calf.
See, now, I think, first of all, that tattoo should be cut off. But then the Fed should bum rush the tattoo shop and shoot everybody in there and then burn it down. The tattoo thing is so crazy now that there's more people with tattoos than not. And the big business is the tattoo removal business.
Just commit, though. That's what I say.
Just ride it out for the rest of your life.
Out.
Now, one of my favorite tattoos a buddy of mine had in high school, and he had the heart and the big scroll, where you would put in the girlfriend's name, but he left that empty, and he would just write his girlfriend's name in ink, whoever he was dating then. I hope you're liking
That's
this.
clever.
Yeah, it was. But just the whole thing of empty, like we would just look at girls that were dating him going, yeah, this is permanent, isn't it? You're with a guy with an empty scroll.
Maybe the worst. It wasn't the worst tattoo, wasn't bad looking, but the worst idea is a friend of mine years ago showed off his tattoo to us.
Yeah.
I was very excited about it. And the tattoo said, never forget, with a toothbrush and toothpaste. Never forget to brush. But they're standing up next to each other, sort of resembling the towers. And nobody was happy with it. We were like, that's not a good idea. And it's not small. It's pretty.
But so he thought, first of all, even if you were a cartoonist, this is something like if you tweeted it, you would have to delete later.
Exactly.
And act like, hey, I already deleted it. I don't know why you guys are still mad. Because they're not satisfied if you've deleted a tweet. They will not stop attacking you on a bad tweet.
It wasn't a good idea.
It is. I know, it is Friday the 13th. I just knocked over some pens.
Spooky.
Spooky, huh? Here's Dan in Pennsylvania.
Good morning, Bennington.
Good morning.
I similarly was not interested in horror films that much growing up, but there's a movie called Thanksgiving. I don't know if you guys can watch trailers or whatever in there. It's kind of a joke with this turkey that kills people. It fucks girls. It's foul mouth. It jokes on all the shit, and it's actually pretty funny.
To me, the scariest thing would be called Dan from Pennsylvania. Comes to Thanksgiving.
Well, give it a watch, and then you can decide for yourself.
No. Brian in T-Town.
How you doing there, Bennington?
Yeah.
I want to say, first of all, you are a comedic genius. Number one. Number two is, Friday the 13th, ISIS has got a new horror flick out. It's called ISIS Slices.
See, it's too soon.
Don't get that tattooed
Yeah, it's
on
too
you.
soon.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's too soon.
played
Let's
out.
wait a while. Let's wait until they're all killed, and then we'll make jokes about them like we do with the Nazis.
Won't that be great?
Oh, God, that'll be a great day. Hopefully, Brian Williams kills every one of those bastards during his 6 months free time. Dave, I don't know whether I ever told you this before, but I smashed an ISIS in the head with a rock and killed him. Hey, Denise in Jersey.
Hi. Actually, you know what? You can blame the 13 on Christianity again.
Hey.
Because pre-Christianity, 13 was considered a lucky number. And then when Christianity started, because the pagans and all, they wanted to separate them, and they turned it into bad luck and sign of the devil. And
See,
all
I heard the exact opposite. I heard the reason why we consider 13 unlucky is because that's how many people were at the Last Supper.
That's always my impression.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it was considered good luck, but it was still Christianity. Yeah, that's true. I heard that one too. You're right about that. But
I remember I did this in catechism class where I said, how come none of those guys brought dates? And it freaked everybody out. You didn't have dates back then. You're a monster. I go, okay, I'm just thinking it's odd. No one was a +1? That entire thing? So you're a pagan, are you?
Yeah.
Paganish? Yeah.
Paganish, yeah.
So
But
this is a happy day for you.
Actually, I love Friday the 13th. I do.
Yeah.
And I laugh when other people get all bunched up about it. But if you think about it, Christianity, that Last Supper shouldn't have been a bad thing. It technically should have been a good thing.
Well, yeah, sure. That's why when we get mad at Judas, I mean, somebody has to move the plot along,
Right.
It was already predestined. But so you're a pagan. Today's Friday the 13th. So what time do you snatch babies and kill them? What?
No, actually, that movie you had with the slicing feet,
Yeah, Blade.
Really, people, blade feet generally carry guns, don't they?
Yeah, well, you're right about that.
True.
It seems odd that none of the slasher movies would have thought, I'm going to move ahead to at least having a musket. Holy shit, wouldn't that be great? Like we do a slasher film, but it's set in the early days of America.
That's good.
And somebody is killing all the founding fathers.
I feel like there would be really weird torture scenes too.
Sure, we can always do that. Like, what are these weird torture movies that they have? I never watch any of them. It's like House or something. What do they call it?
A little
Hostel.
mime.
Hostel.
Hostel is one of them.
Yeah.
But I thought you were talking about the one where there's like a little clown face.
Little clown face. Is that Clowny Jr.? Is that the name of that
Saw.
one? Saw has a clown face in it?
Well, it's
I've
not
never seen any
I
of
don't
these.
think it's like a little mime-looking toy. That has something to do with it. I can't watch those movies.
No, to me,
Ugh.
the biggest
guy.
nightmare of any of these things is like, to me, this is exactly like listening to an Iron Maiden album. Like, I know some people receive pleasure from it, but it just doesn't work that way for me.
But it gives you pain.
Yeah, I guess. But we're learning today of 50 Shades of Grey.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure, pain
It's
come
all
together.
one.
Yeah. The real pain of this would be actually watching this film. Although it's supposed to, it's going to do monstrous business.
I just can't imagine it. But I guess it did. It was monster book sales.
It was
so-
an incredibly big trilogy of books that the housewives loved.
Now, I had a very different impression of it. Like, I just knew that, the housewives were into it, and it was
Right.
like some S&M stuff, and it was supposed to be very kinky and very risque. And then I saw the trailer for it. I thought it seemed a little tame.
Well, it is tame to those. You're looking at an audience that is tame to begin with,
right?
So any they don't want to to go to full route to porn.
Sure,
they just want a slight, they want to return to the camera pans up and some music plays.
Right. But still, even within that realm of okay, they don't want to watch porn or they don't want to read something that's actually pornographic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Secretary? Come on. It doesn't seem as
Well,
as risque as Secretary, which was very
my
sexy.
friend Leslie, who is a film reviewer, wrote to me. She's just said, "Don't see this movie. Don't let Chris watch this movie since he wasted all his time reading the books. It's Secretary for dumb people." And I'm like, that should be the shortest movie review ever.
That's kind of
Secretary for dumb people. Unbelievable how much money is coming to this. And by the way, she wrote this online as one of those fan fiction things.
Really?
Like, I think she wrote it like as a Twilight thing and then changed it or something. Like, we're giving out so much bad information today because we're speaking at length of things that we have no interest in whatsoever. And somewhere someone's just screaming at me like, fuck you, Iron Maiden's great. They rock. You listen to pussy music. Yeah, I know I do. I know I do. Matt in Winchester.
Yeah, hey, Ronnie, I always wondered, was Edward Scissorhands Freddy Krueger's gay son?
Dude, why aren't you doing stand-up? Do you realize how many open mics are out there that you could be just opening with that?
And it's topical, too.
Yeah, it's right there. You've got a lot of 24-year-old material. You know, I was thinking back in 1995. This jumped into my mind. And when did Clinton know about it, huh? No thin interns, huh? Wait, Steve is in Philly. He's in the hospital and wants to just listen while he's on hold. How you doing, Steve?
I was doing all right, but Shelby kept on hanging up on me. I just wanted to listen.
I hope the hell that's not Shelby in there, is it? He's spelling Gail's name wrong all day. I didn't know that so many people struggled with the spelling of your name.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 options there.
Oh, yeah, I guess there are, but some of them are men, right?
Usually the Gale is a man. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's with the I.
Let me go back to you, Steve. Steve, what are you in the hospital for?
I just had like a little hernia problem, but I'm pretty doped up right now.
Oh, that don't make you a bad person. That's medicine right now.
Yeah. Could you leave me on hold so I can listen?
Look, if you're doing opiates, you kind of are listening anyway, aren't you? No matter where you are.
Yeah, kind of. I don't. Yeah.
This is why I could never be a nurse. If I was a nurse, I'd just yell, "You're not making any sense.
Poor thing.
What's wrong with you?" Poor thing. You're never going to make it as a shock jock lady.
Oh. You sound crazy.
Gary, in New Hampshire, you're on the Run of Fed show.
Hey, guys. Good morning, Ron. Good morning, Gail. I just have an observation.
Uh-huh.
When you began talking about slasher films, I noticed you're doing something that I catch people doing all the time, which is you have a knowledge of kind of dumb things like, pop culture that you're kind of embarrassed by. But when the time comes to say, like, oh, yeah, Friday the 13th, that's a slasher film with that Justin, what's his name? But you know that it's Jason. I totally believe that's what's going on here. I think you guys know.
No, I don't think so at all. What we know about these films, Gary, and if I was 13, you might be right. Or if I lived in fucking New Hampshire, you know what I mean?
Well,
where you still had to worry what your fucking neighbors thought, you might be right. But no, this stuff is in the zeitgeist. And I've had even people on the show who do the Saw movies. And, I'm interested in the fact that there's a genre that you can make money off of cheaply like this and that you can move on and do stuff. But I really I'm not a fan of those kind of movies.
Also, I don't believe in the guilty pleasure. If I like something, I don't have any problem owning it.
No, I love plenty of pop things. You know what I mean? I love plenty of things. And some... like the initial thing is like too sweet to me, but then you're able to go back and enjoy it later,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pop music, I always find it fascinating that just something can pop in where it's a touchstone for everybody, you know?
Well, that's what's great about it. I mean, it's unifying music.
It is unifying. It really is. And there are songs, whether you like them or not, that you can go, oh, I remember that summer. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That was the summer of Sugar Ray.
Doesn't make them good, but you did enjoy it at the time.
And yet it's in you on some, you know what I mean? Like,
And if one of those pop songs came on right now, you'd be happy to sing along to.
I just want to fly. But it's true, that stuff. And these kind of movies, whether it's, the Star Wars or the Iron Man, Titanic, the ones that everybody ends up seeing, even if you wait until they're on TV, it becomes like, if someone said to you, what happened in 1997, you would go, you mean Titanic? Yeah. That's what that does for us.
I'll watch the shit out of Titanic if it was on right now. I'm not ashamed to say
I
it.
haven't seen it in years. There's plenty of those kind of movies that I'd seen once and never again, And it's always like the Godzilla type movies or whatever that people like. The Last Planet of the Apes that Tim Burton did.
Yeah.
It seemed like people don't remember it now, but everyone talked about, oh, Planet of the Apes, Planet of the Apes. And by the way, I will say this to all the Star Wars fan. None of you bastards hated Phantom Menace that year it came out. You waited a while before you hated it.
I agree with that.
Because I was at the, initial showings and you guys were all jumping up and down at the end of it and high-fiving. And now, for some reason, you're like, I despise that piece of garbage.
Stupid pod race.
That brought me so much joy that night. I don't even go back and watch like the regular Star Wars on TV.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. Because it's, it's better left in your memory, I think.
But Wizard of Oz isn't that way.
Well,
Jurassic Park is not that way to me.
No.
I'll stop most of the time for that early Spielberg stuff. Any of that, I'll lock into.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to check back with Steve from Philly, see how the Meds are doing. Bill in Rockland. Bill.
Hey, $1,000,000, Bennington. How's it going?
What do you say, man?
Earlier, you guys were talking about rock autobiographies and how boring they are, and I totally agree with you on most points. But have you ever read Slash's autobiography? He kind of went outside the box. Kind of said that he did have a pretty awesome childhood. His mom made costumes for the Stones. And
yeah, she dated Bowie and stuff like that.
Wow.
Like he woke up one day and like Bowie was coming out with his mom for having breakfast. I don't know what she looked like. She must have been amazing. But yeah, I didn't say I don't like rock autobiographies. I'm saying you just really want to rush through the first, chapter where they're riding bicycles and, you know what I mean? They're just anyone at that point. You're like, okay, hurry up.
I didn't know that about Slash's mom.
Yeah, Slash's mom was, she was a hip chick.
She's a hip lady.
She's a hip lady. Here's Steve in Florida. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Bennington, Buck 380. Before that, Pagan girl was talking about the origin of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
It was actually the day that the Knights Templar were all rounded up and killed by the King of France. The 13th century, 14th century, because he borrowed a shitload of money from them for the Crusades. So he figured the best way to get rid of my debt is to get rid of the guys who I owe money to.
I wish you were my teacher when I was in 7th grade. It would have been so cool.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's real cool. He's my new fave. I love a little fact like that.
Yeah, me too.
Give me a little fact I can hold on to. Then later I'll bring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you.
I read somewhere back in the 1300s in France. I think we need to break here. It's Ron and Gail. Hashtag Bennington if you want to send us anything on the Twitter tweets. Lots to talk about. And at the same time that we're doing this, Ron and Fez is on the other channel. So I'm running back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's a competition, it feels like.
That's a replay over on the Indie channel.
A competition that you win no matter what.
And lose no matter what.
But I'm glasses half full. You win. You've got 2 radio shows.
Well, three.
Kind of 4.
Okay, 4.
You actually kind of have 4.
Yeah. Should get rid of one of them. It's too many shows.
Please not Bennington.
Aw, that's nice for you to say. We'll be right back. This is Bennington.
Bennington will be right back. Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206.
Small face this one, too. But we're on. Guys, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Here's a little Valentine's Day secret. Available only at pajamagram.com. The Hidden Secrets collection. Sure, they look innocent enough at first glance, but they're made especially for play. The Hidden Secrets collection by Pajamagram lets you sneak a peek at what really turns you on. They also give you easy access to her great sass. And just like you, they're always up for a little fun. Some even glow in the dark, begging for action as soon as the lights go out. The question is, are you ready to play? Made of the softest cotton jersey with just the right amount of stretch. They feature all the cuteness and comfort she's looking for in a favorite pair of PJs. This Valentine's Day, share a secret with the one you love. Order from the Hidden Secrets collection at pajamagram.com. Every Pajamagram includes free gift packaging. You don't even have to wrap, dude. Valentine's delivery is guaranteed if you order by today, 6 p.m. Eastern. Visit pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. That's pajamagram.com or call 1-800-GIVE-PJs. You know, guys, and I'm speaking to everybody right now, even if you're a girl. When I say guys, I mean it that way. All inclusive. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, the most important day in the history of the world. What's the number one gift? Roses. But they only last a week. Steven Singer Jewelers has the perfect solution. His really famous, real long stem premium roses, lavishly dipped in 24-karat pure gold. Picture a real American Beauty rose preserved forever in 24-hour, not 24-hour, just 24-karat pure gold. It will last forever. You could bury her with this rose. They're the only rose guaranteed to last a lifetime or more than a lifetime. They'll outlive you and they'll outlive your chick. And that's what you want. Starting at just $59, these magnificent roses are available now at Steven Singer Jewelers, located at the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Not the corner of 8th and Walnut, across the street. And they're at the other corner at 8th and Walnut. Now, Steven has extended hours, open to 7 o'clock tonight to make your Valentine's Day shopping easy. So you've put this off. You haven't paid attention. You know, you've been doing other stuff. And you're like, oh, what am I going to do? Go to the other corner. Steven's open until 7 o'clock tonight. No one's going to know that you didn't care until the last second. She's going to love you. Make your Valentine's Day shopping easy. Steven's premium long stem gold dip roses are available in Valentine's Day red. And then you can see the entire selection of beautiful roses at IHateStevenSinger.com. Well, I don't. because he has these beautiful roses that start at just $59. And they come in an exclusive gold gift box with your own personalized message of love. So no one else has that gold gift box. This is just Steven Singer. Some people hate him. I don't. They'll say, I hate Steven Singer. And I go, I don't even want to hear that. He's such a good person. And then you'll be able to get that message of love. So you might want to just put on there, honey, I love you. Or this, what mine is going to say is this rose will outlive you. Buy a rose that will last a lifetime. Years from now, after you're dead and gone. She's older, and your great-grandchildren will come around and it's like, what was great-grandpa around? You're like, he gave me this rose. And she'll be able to tell stories of her life because of that. Head down to the other corner of 8th and Walnut. The other corner, not the corner. Open until 7 p.m. tonight. What are you waiting for? Stop listening to me and jump on this. Steven Singer Jewelers. And it's a website that, this is the way you get there. I'm not saying it myself, but that's the name of the website. IHateStevenSinger.com.
Bennington. Nothing will be the same ever again. On Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206.
But there's someone who's torn it apart, and he's taken almost all that I've got. But if you wanna try to love again, baby, I'll try to love again. But I know the first cut is the deepest, baby. I know the first cut is the deepest. But when it comes to being lucky, he's hurt. When it comes to loving me, he's worth. But when it comes to being lucky, he's hurt. That's how I know. First cut is the deepest, baby. I know first cut is the deepest. I still want to buy my side, just to help me dry the tears I've cried. And I'm sure gonna give you a try. And if you wanna try to love again, baby, I'll try to love again. But I know first cut is the deepest, baby. I know the first cut is the deepest. 'Cause when it comes to being lucky, he's hurt. When it comes to loving me, he's worth. But when it comes to being lucky, he's hurt. That's how I know. First cut is the deepest, baby. I know first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know first cut is the deepest. First is the deepest. First cut is the deepest. But when it comes to being lucky, he's hurt. When it comes to loving me, he's worth. But
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And introduce her to everybody, Gail. Our house band today.
House band is Miss P.P. Arnold.
You know, I think it's a mistake to name yourself PP, but that's just me. You know,
It's kind of a strange choice.
This also, just hearing her reminds me of an idea that I have, which is white go-go boots for men. It's never happened before, but I honestly think men would love them.
They're great. White go-go boots on anyone is good.
I think there was a time in this country's history that if you didn't have white go-go boots, you were arrested. Like people's, they're like, I need my white go-go boots.
I
if you're
was
a woman.
just recently thinking about the fact that I don't own a pair of white go-go boots, and I'd like to.
Well, you should if you get into a time machine. You should go back in time with your white go-go boots. Now, we're playing her, and I'm wondering, is it cheating to do Tin Soldier by Small Faces that she sang with them?
I don't think it will be cheating. She's doing backing vocals.
One of the great forgotten guitar players in pop history was in that band, Steve Marriott. And he was in Humble Pie when I was a kid, and they were the shit for, they had that little period of time where it's like, oh, you want to see Humble Pie? I'll tell you this, I think I was in 8th grade, my parents said, no, you're not old enough to go to the Humble Pie show.
Oh, I was once sold for a case of beer to Humble Pie.
Oh.
And then I was like, what kind of beer?
What kind of beer?
And then I just shed one single tear.
Well, you know what's weird about
I'm such
that?
a pretty crier.
Is one of the road managers in that scene played in Humble Pie.
Oh, yeah. Is it the, it's like the kind of bearded...
I'll give you a hint who it is. Peter Frampton was in Humble Pie. For a little while, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But Steve Marriott was the shit. He was a great, great English guitar player.
Is he still alive?
No, passed away. It's weird because I think I joked about this earlier, but I think he passed away smoking in bed. Remember I did that smoking in bed reference earlier today?
You did?
Yeah, so Zeitgeist, Friday the 13th. It's all happening. It's all happening. It's all happening. Red Dog. Frosty. Over on the iBank today, a couple of things that you might want to read about. One being Nick DiPaolo gave a great interview. Nick DiPaolo killing it with his new special is the name of it. He's got a great new special out. And if you go over and read this, he actually brings up the size of Louis's penis because he and Louis had lived together for a while. And then there's also a recap with photos of the 3rd annual Patrice O'Neill benefit. And I'm going to just give this away. Everybody killed.
Nice.
Everybody slayed in that show. I think it's one of the coolest things that gang gets back together and does that show for Patrice's
awesome.
Family. You know what? I'm reading some stuff. People send me a lot of stuff here today. But anyway, you want to go over and read those at theinterrobang.com, theinterrobang.com. Now, this weekend is All-Star Weekend. It's also the Saturday Night Live party, which I'm looking at it, and it doesn't look like every cast member is coming back, but a lot of hosts are coming back. I don't really know what they're doing there.
Yeah, it's this Sunday, right? It's not Saturday.
Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday. And they just added a half hour. It's going to run for 3.5 hours, but it runs up against the basketball game. I don't know what to do right now because I always like the All-Star Weekend, and they're playing in New York this year. Both places, Brooklyn and over Madison Square Garden. Everybody's connected.
You're going to have to pick one.
Brooklyn lost the Democratic Convention to Philly.
I heard that.
Yeah. I had also heard this before. I think Hillary didn't want to be in Brooklyn because she was worried about the not real America shit coming up. Like, oh, what are they having? Artisanal cheese? Is that it?
Because you only find that in Brooklyn.
Yeah, you hipsters in Brooklyn with your fancy farm foods.
Philly's a hipster town now.
Every town's a hipster town. If it's a city, there's hipsters there. Hipsters have replaced normal in the way that geeks have replaced moviegoers, you know?
Sure.
If you go to a place that doesn't, if you go to a restaurant or a bar and it's not being run by hipsters, you're like, what's with this place? Something seems odd.
Something's weird here.
Yeah.
Should we leave?
Amish, I think, were the original hipsters, and they always ran nice farm-to-table
They're very-
restaurants.
DIY.
Yeah. Do it yourself. Get your friends to help you build a barn.
Mm-hmm.
Mennonites, not so much. I don't want
Kind of posers.
Yeah, they are posers.
With the colored shirts. So
Yeah.
flashy.
Well, it's like if you have a friend who acts like, is that gluten bread? And then later you're seeing them eating a slice of pizza.
Exactly.
And you're like, well, what about the gluten thing? And they're like, I'm starving. I'm like, that's not the excuse.
I know vegetarians like that.
What,
They're
that will
just-
eat meat when they
Yeah,
don't?
they're like, I'm a vegetarian. And then they're like, I had a burger tonight.
Yeah.
Like a whole burger? Like, not a
Yeah.
taste? I really wanted one, though.
I was so starving for it and hungry for it. I know people in recovery who are like, I was so thirsty that I drank 2 bottles of wine last night. Do I have to get a new chip or am I fine with this one that
Can
says
I-
13 years?
Can I still keep this chip?
Yeah. I don't want to sit over there with the white chip people.
They don't segregate them, do they?
Well, they tend to segregate themselves, you know?
Right.
And plus, they get to talk first, so what more do you want, you know? Sometimes I just feel like having a drink so I can move up in the line, tell my story. I work with this guy who's such an asshole. Keeping on alcohol-related things. Still, he drives me nuts. Think I'm going to start drinking. So I don't know how we got there from that, but next week is the Oscars. Are you coming over for that?
I am. I'll be there.
I wonder if Fez will be there and have all the cards for us to fill out.
I hope he will.
Yeah. Or, but you know what? This is very funny because it falls on a wrestling night. And as you know, you have a nephew who likes to FaceTime during wrestling.
Oh, no.
And that brought up last night. And he says like this, we should just watch wrestling.
No.
Yeah. Your mom might have to go in the other room.
She can do that.
Who are you pulling for during the Oscars? Or do you have a care in the world?
You know, I feel like I
Selma?
like I liked Boyhood.
Oh yeah, I love Boyhood. I love the Richard Linklater, who's never been nominated before.
Which is pretty crazy.
It is crazy because he's goddamn brilliant.
And I think he has a good shot at this because I think that they like that he played with the form, I think.
Which is brilliant, but everybody's also talking about the Birdman.
Oh, that's right.
They love the Birdman. Like, oh, did you see Birdman yet?
I saw the Birdman.
Did you like it?
I did. I liked Boyhood more, but I enjoyed the Birdman.
I don't know. It seemed like if you look at the body count, American Sniper should win this going away.
If you're just going on body count alone.
I normally do in a movie. And I don't, spoiler alert, they don't kill anybody in that Boyhood.
I didn't see American Sniper.
Well, there's plenty. Did you see Selma?
I didn't. There's quite a few actually that I didn't see.
Well, you should try to catch up
I'm
by
gonna
Sunday.
try.
Grand Budapest.
I did see that, of course.
I am happy that everybody's loving that at the end of the year, but I'm surprised that they did. I didn't think Wes Anderson, I thought it was way more niche than this.
Mhm.
And they're crazy about this
kind of
movie at all the
interesting.
awards. Yeah.
And I did enjoy it, but it's kind of strange with his other films. Like, why did they hook on to this one so much? They just
Why this one? Yeah.
And I wonder if it's just like, well, we liked everything of his, and we're only just now getting hip to the whole thing, and now we want to give him some credit.
That's why I would pick the Boyhood over the Birdman, because if you look what Richard Linklater has done for so many years, like there's so many great films that he's done.
Absolutely.
And he's so incredibly underrated. You know, it's like you take him for granted.
I think that that's probably very true of him. And I'm saying he played with the form with Boyhood, but every film he does, he's played
Waking Life, he played with the
Yeah.
form.
It's Slacker. It's like
Well, Slacker was the first thing. A lot of people almost think of that as the beginning of, hey, anyone can make a movie. I know Kevin Smith has always championed that when he saw Slacker, that he's watching the film going, wait, I can do this. I have weird, funny friends. You know, we do shit. And I mean, that is one of those great things. It's like the Velvet Underground, where other people thought I could start a band now, you know?
And you know, it's very charming, even with its like boom mic that he drops it down again. And
well, at the time, you know, just having the center of the film moving around all the time was insane. You know what I mean? Nobody saw that coming, and then afterwards you're like, oh, yeah, I could have thought of that. That would have been easy enough. And then Dazed and Confused is maybe the best teen comedy that's ever been done.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's so fun. Talking about like a movie I could watch at any time, at any
point that you turn it on, you go, oh, there's Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I'm gonna be late for work. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, do what Randall Pink Floyd wants to do. And that's weird because that wasn't a big hit film. And now, like, you'll turn on any show and the people will be like, all right. We've got Matthew McConaughey coming up. Like they're quoting that film.
How did that become a thing that everyone started to get?
I think that he is... that we had this transgression that took place in this country where if you were a comedian, you had to do a Jack Nicholson impression, and then the next generation had to do a Christopher Walken, and now it's a Matthew McConaughey. So he's bypassed any kind of regular stardom thing into whatever that weird, iconic place is.
That's very true.
But as much as people joke about that, he was unbelievable in that movie.
Absolutely.
He was incredible in that movie.
The choices he made with that character are just ridiculously funny. His timing, his just like, even his just kind of quiet moments are just so silly.
And no matter where you were from, you knew that dude. That dude was from your neighborhood. The guy who was a little too old and was using that to pick up younger girls.
Everyone knows that guy.
Yeah. That if you were in Ohio, you knew that guy. If you're in Northern California, guy who's paying too much attention to his car. You know, you see him driving around with someone that's borderline creepy.
But that movie, just like Slacker, he has always had such like playfulness with dialogue and like, I mean, like the monologues in Slacker are so funny.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch that film because it's been forever. I want to go back and watch Waking Life, too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something else because it's a silly kind of kids movie. But School of Rock does, like, amazing shit with those kids.
I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember enjoying it when it came out, but I haven't seen it since.
I've seen it a couple times on TV, and those kids are great. And what he did was he booked musicians instead of actors, you know?
Right.
And you're like, so when it comes together at the end, there's nothing fake about it. These just kids are just playing, you know? And after that, now see, there's another one of those things that there's schools of rock in every town now, and there wasn't before.
That's true.
You know, your nephew joined one of those things. So Linkletter's had this effect on, and then, you know, those Paris movies, the Midnights, doing 3 of them over that many years.
Incredible.
Yeah, and they're just great, and they've always held up.
I don't think I saw the third one, but I've seen the first 2.
The first one's much different, you know what I mean? Like, they're literally here. You remember in the first movie where they're on the train and they're just kind of flirting with each other, but there's like a middle-aged couple that's fighting in the train with each other, and they kind of look, well, they're kind of that couple now, you know what I mean? Like, they got to that place, which is so goddamn smart to have that take place. But if you just looked at those films, you would have thought to yourself, well, he's really taken this in a different direction. Like, it never would have occurred to Woody Allen to do this every 8-9 years, and, you know, to kind of update Annie Hall every once in a while. But the fact that he did that and then just blew it away with Boyhood, which, if you think from a filmmaking point of view, to pick this topic of shooting once a week for 12 years, to be able to hold the crew together, to hold the cast together, to adapt with what was happening with that kid. Because, I mean, obviously you go out and make a movie. If you're going to make a movie about the kid is really like you. You know what I mean? Like, like when you see Tom Hanks in The Wonders, that's him as a drummer. You know, that's the kid he wanted to be.
Yeah.
But this kid is like vastly different than Richard Linklater. So he was able to adjust the movie to this kid's actual sensitivity and interest in shit. So to be able to pull that off is mind blowing. And to turn around and give it to a Spanish guy just because he kept one long shot going? Come on. Yeah, I get it. We all like Michael Keaton. Throw him
Michael
whatever
Keaton
you
was great in
Throw
it,
him
but-
whatever you want. I don't care. Seriously, you know how sometimes, like, I'm going to rewatch this movie this week to see if I was just in a bad mood. But you know how sometimes you'll like forget about a movie as soon as it happens?
Yes.
I felt like I was forgetting about it while it was happening.
Sure.
All I could see is people acting in that whole movie.
Yeah.
Like I never went away. And when I watched Boyhood, I felt like I was watching a life. I felt like I was watching memories.
Yeah.
You know?
I got very lost in that movie.
Yeah, I felt like I kind of grew up with that kid in a way. And then I was able to see it through his eyes and the parents' eyes. You know what I mean? Because I've had both of those experiences. A friend of mine wrote to me like, what is this, a home movie? And I'm like, yeah, probably in the best way.
Yeah.
You know, like if you went back and edited your home movies properly, it would be amazing. You know, if you really saw this family grow up over videotape and really get involved with it and realizing it's not about a trip to Disney World, but about a life, you know?
And by the end of it, I feel like it's just a very amazing feeling of like hopefulness and sadness and everything that you feel when you think of aging, really.
Right.
I mean, it's like...
Well, you're kind of happy for him, but so sad for his mom, but knowing that she's going to be happy in a little while. You know what I mean? Her sadness isn't permanent, you know?
Yeah.
You know what else is great about that film? And these aren't really like... I was going to hit some stuff here, but we didn't get set up with it today. But there's... that, you know, Ethan Hawke, when you watch that movie, you're like at first, oh, I get it. He's the dick. He's the asshole, you know? And then he's so great.
Yeah.
He's so great.
It would be very easy to take one or both of those parents and turn them into the villain of the movie and make them, you know.
But I literally went there because I'm used to seeing movies like she's the saint, he's the asshole. I hope one of these days he gets his comeuppance. You know what I mean? Like I was actually thinking those same cliche things.
And you also kind of think then on his father as aging, he goes through so much of a journey himself.
Oh,
that
yeah.
You become very forgiving. I think just the way you probably do with your own parents. You know, it's
hopefully. Hopefully you guys get around to that point.
One day I'll look back on it and realize you were just a man. Just a simple man.
I think you're still not really picking up on how much was there, because a lot of it was superhuman in its own way.
You see yourself as a birdman.
I am the birdman. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. It could go either way. I hope American Sniper just knocks everybody off, though. I don't know why. Like I sit around and it's like an athletic contest where you're like, man, I really hope he went. I'm like, what do I give a shit? I don't really know that he probably doesn't care.
Yeah.
Or he wouldn't make these kind of movies if he really cared about an Oscar. Have you watched Waking Life again in a while?
I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I've seen it more than once. I've seen it a couple times, and I love that movie.
Scanner Darkly is another weird, what the hell's going on here?
He's always playing with it, you know? He's just always...
And I think like there is a gigantic reason why Austin became hip has to do with him of not leaving. You know what I mean? Like staying, and then Robert Rodriguez would go, "Oh, okay, so I can stay too.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we could all stay.
We could just stay
and
here.
then Quentin's going, if you guys are staying, I'm going to come around a lot. You know?
Definitely. If you see Slacker now, the way Austin looks in that, which would be, it's just so
small,
but cool. Like it's kind of like
Portlandia.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like.
But see, they're already ruining Portland because of Portlandia.
Of course.
And they've changed Austin so much because, like, when Slacker came out, you're like, oh, yeah, Austin. I know Willie Nelson would sing about that or something, right? Is that what we're talking about? Don't they have, like, a bunch of guys that, don't want to go to Nashville to sing country music?
I feel like I'm going to run home and watch Slacker right away.
Please do. Let's see if we can find it on
We got a
Netflix.
Ciccione pap smear here.
I haven't seen it in so long.
That monologue is insane. It's so damn funny.
Yeah, it's great. Well, that's
actually, I think she's in that girl who does that monologue is in the Butthole Surfers. I think she's like the drummer for the Butthole Surfers or something like that.
Okay, so Portlandia also ripped that off.
Got a Ciccione pap smear here.
Well, the
It's
weird
a pretty
thing
good deal.
That movie opens up with the director in the back seat talking, and then I don't think he's ever put himself in other movies.
I think that he might have had a piece in Waking Life. I think he might.
Oh yeah.
But
then the other guy in Waking Life is that weird guy from the tour, from the cruise.
Yeah.
I talked to him on the phone one time.
I know.
I don't know where he is now, but the cruise was a documentary that I just dug the shit out of.
I think he passed away.
Don't say shit like that to me.
I hope that I'm wrong. I could be wrong.
Why would you even say
I know.
something
As
like...
soon as I said it, I was like, maybe I'm wrong.
But see, the thing is, like, I'm at the point now where I feel like anyone could be dead or alive. Like, if someone told me, no, JFK's alive, I would just go, oh, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking about then. Probably his brother Bobby. Probably Bobby Kennedy is what I was thinking of.
That could be what you were thinking of. He's okay.
He's fine. He's living in front. Well, JFK was like one of the first people that they Jim Morrison and said he's not really dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said that he had brain damage, but the government didn't want the people to see him that way. So they put in a fake thing, and then they moved him out to France or something, where he's guarded 24 hours a day.
Nice. And he's just enjoying his...
One thing that I got to give the conspiracy theory people is they add a lot of detail. They add a ton of detail to it. So you're like, oh, shit. Okay.
This is probably true then.
Yeah. No, this is definitely true. At least it's a lot truer than I thought it was going to be. Hey, are we going to play your game show again today?
Yeah, we can, if you'd like.
Well, A-Train's waiting because that always gives him a big part of being in this.
Very excited.
A-Train, well, you were in the bucket with Opie this week, but from what I understand, you climbed out of it?
A little bit.
Not all the way,
much,
huh?
No.
What's his beef with you?
I haven't brought a ton of content to the show yet.
And that's what he expects, content.
Yeah, he wants more.
You want to take PC&D over there?
Huh?
Pretend like it's your idea.
Yeah. Here's an idea that I have. It's called PC&D. E-Rock wants to be on it, but I'm going to ask you a question. Could we bring your aunt Fez Watley in for this?
Yes, we can.
Your auntie, after so many years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but Gail's named after Fez.
Mm-hmm.
Fez's real name is Gail. Hi, Gail.
What now, little brother?
I love to drive.
That's
What
actually,
now, little brother?
I wish that's who I was named after.
We say that. Oh, ouch. I hope she doesn't listen to this show.
I'm
Hear
sure
that.
she doesn't.
No. Not even if it was right in front of her.
Not if she was in the room.
Just start talking about something else. Fellas, say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Fez.
So let's play your... And E-Rock wants to play as well. So let's play your game show.
All right, cool. So the game is PC&D.
PC&D.
If you remember.
PC&D.
If you remember.
So when Hicks was here, we all said it together like that.
Everyone say it. PC and D.
PC and D.
That's how
PC and D. Yeah, that's what we do.
It's got kind of like a Catholic, like you
call and
answer.
response.
Yeah. So in this game, you have met a person, you're falling for them, everything is great about them, you're super attracted to them, and then you find out this one aspect of their personality or something about them, and we have to say if this thing is P, C, and D. Pro, con, neutral, deal breaker.
I hate to break in here and do a spy report, but Timothy Levitch is alive. If I had my stuff set up today, I'd be hitting spy report, spy report. So the guy from the crew is alive.
What was I thinking of then?
Thinking of trying to ruin truth, I guess,
I know.
is what you were out to do.
I'm so glad he's okay. That's all. I'm just happy.
Well, this is going to mean they just lined up a thing of people with no college degrees.
Steve Jobs, Rachel Ray, Walt Disney, Ellen
Deal
DeGeneres.
breaker. Deal breaker for me.
Deal breaker.
PC and D for deal breaker.
For deal breaker.
Yeah.
You can call it DB if you'd like.
I don't want to.
But
that's too many. That's too much.
we go with D.
Yeah.
All right. So P, C, and D.
B, C, and D.
PC and D.
B, C, and D.
PC and D.
Is a former child star.
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Pro. Because what if she was Elizabeth from 8 is Enough?
Mm-hmm. She could be.
What about for you, Fez?
I'm thinking con because most child stars kind of resent what they did on a whole. Like if you were doing, like if it was a David Cassidy, he hates the Partridge Family. I'm into reruns. I think it would be butting heads over the Nick at Night.
Here's what, would you watch Partridge Family at night?
I would watch if I loved the show that my child star lover was on.
But here's the deal.
Wait a minute.
Are you saying... See, I think that you're saying con because that would mean that you're dating someone. PC and D. A-Train.
Pro.
Yeah.
They probably got a decent sized saving account if they were a child star.
It's very possible.
Unless their parents ripped them off because that happens a lot. Now, a former child star is E-Rock. So would you want to date another child star?
That would definitely be a pro for me.
You would love it.
I would love to see people coming up to them all the time, trying to get photos. I would love to see them being asked to do conventions.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be all about
It'd
it.
be cool.
You know what? I hate the way some people think that it's awful that they're asked to go back and do those conventions. I think it's great.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You make money, but you're also seeing people who like that thing from years ago that you didn't get to meet then, and now you can say, "Yeah, here's what happened on your favorite show."
Like I've seen one with like all the Willy Wonka kids get back together. It's kind of cute.
It's adorable. And you do the look what they look like now, and you see
On
that they all put on
TMZ,
190 pounds. You know.
I'm going pro.
All right, everybody pro on that one, but Fez Watley, who came in as a con because he doesn't want to fight over the TV remote at night because he's still watching old Partridge. It's weird that Fez is dating David Cassidy out of everybody out there.
I hope that I am too.
Well, you know, he's got troubles this week.
Oh no.
You
I mean,
what?
I'm not. I didn't hear the trouble, so.
Is that who you went to immediately?
Mm-hmm. Marsha Brady.
Marsha Brady.
Yep.
Marsha.
What a doll.
Yeah, she's adorable.
All right, PC and D.
PC and D.
PC and D.
PC and D.
Let's go back to a little something we were talking about earlier. PC and D, covered in tattoos, not face, not neck, but everything else.
But this always hurts people's feelings because I'm like a pre-tattooed for women thing. When I see a woman with a sleeve,
you're not into it.
No, but anytime I say that, I hurt a lot of people's feelings because there's a generation of people who, do that.
Mm-hmm. But that's okay.
So I'm going to change it to pro. I like it even more. Fezzi, could you, in your world, could you date Motley Crue arms?
Deal breaker. Yeah.
Deal breaker?
Yeah, if it's what you're describing from the neck down, everything's ink.
Mm-hmm.
No, it would be, the person's body would be too busy for me. I would be nauseated looking at them.
Like a busybody.
Yeah, a very busy body.
So you're just afraid of getting dizzy
Yeah, it's too much to look at.
in the act of love.
I'm telling you right now, I'm seeing something here. Fez wants to break up with whoever he fantasy is with. E-Rock, what about you?
I'm gonna have to go con. I'm not a tattoo fan at all.
Yeah.
And especially like if it's on the top of their feet or just like above the breast, it drives me nuts.
You got a problem with foot tops.
Yeah.
Does it seem unclean to you? Is that why?
No, it's just distracting because it's usually like a rosary beads or some kind of thorns with blood and.
Okay, that's a real turnoff on the top of the feet. All right, A-Train.
I'm neutral because I do like tattoos on a girl,
Yeah.
but too much. I feel like because I do like it, so it would be pro.
What is your like cutoff point then? 7?
I guess 2 full sleeves and the chest and stuff like everything. Then okay. 2 full sleeves, just the chest is all right, but 2 full sleeves, chest and stomach. I'm not doing like a thug life tattoo.
By the time 2 sleeves, chest, great.
Yeah.
Stomach,
Right.
Belly button ring's fine, but
you could never be with a Samoan.
You're gonna have a hard time.
But what if those tattoos told the story of their life? Like, this is where I went to grade school, and this is when I fell off my bike.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate when people get into like try to explain what your tattoo is. Just get
And
a
on the
dragon.
flip side, it's annoying when people ask what they mean.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, it's people also do that. It's like a conversation started at a bar, like, "Oh, cool. What does that mean?" Oh,
yeah,
God.
Jesus.
And that's probably more regret is getting tattoos. Is like it's a conversation starter.
It's just that at one time I was really into Van Halen. That's why I got it. All right, let me give you one because I thought of one because I was talking to the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm.
Born again. Could you be with somebody born again? Let's start with A-Train. And I mean, they're locked in.
yeah, I think con because I couldn't deal with the preaching all the time and having to hear about how they turn themselves around, all that.
So you don't want to hear good stuff that they've done with their life.
I just don't need the constant. Oh, you should do this, you should do that. I did it. Like, no.
All right, first of all, the way that you're explaining the way women talk is really hateful. Hi, I'm a stupid woman. You following the Bible. All right, Ebrock, what about you?
As long as they're not trying to force me to do it, I'm okay with it. So I
What
would
if they
be a
try to
pro.
get you to go to church, though?
Then I'm going right to con.
So,
I'm
me,
so down.
you're supportive of whatever they do.
Whatever works for them and makes
Yeah.
them happy, I'm fine. But if you start bringing me into it, I gotta leave.
Deal breaker. I don't want to be with someone who thinks I'm going to hell.
But you are. That's the weird thing.
This is a gay born again though, so he's got to be
gay again, like a gay again. Who one of those people who thinks that Jesus was gay.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even thinking of the gay part. Just the fact that I don't believe they'll think that I'm going to hell.
But then you'll both be going to hell because they're gay. And they're wasting their time believing stuff when they could be running around doing poppers and making fun of fat girls that dress weird. All right, for me, this is going to be an odd one. It might be cheating. I think it's going to be a con for them because I'm constantly going, all right, where did he put all those animals on that boat then? Oh, look at this. I want you to read this article about evolution. Hey, did you notice that there was some other births before Jesus? It sounds a lot like his. All virgin births. Look at this. 800 years. You know what I mean? Because I love having those conversations, but a lot of born agains don't like that. You know what I mean? Like they get their feelings hurt. But I love to have those conversations. I really do like born again people. Like when HBK was in here, I thought it was like kind of great that he was able to, like he talked about quitting dope and all, and he goes, all I had was one step, not a 12-step. And I believe him. I think it was just lift it off of him because he believed. I think the power of belief is amazing.
Well, if I'm going off of the way he was behaving on your show, that seems like okay because he doesn't seem like somebody who felt the need to push it upon other people.
Well, he was also on his best behavior. You know what I mean? Like he's in New York City. You know, and with me, he's go like this. Oh, I heard that you were mean, but you turned out to be really cool. You know, afterwards, he was very nice about it because he thought he was going to come in here and have me, fuck with his faith. I'm just glad that he's alive. You know what I mean? Like, as many of those, if that's what you need not to take drugs, then that's cool because all of his friends are dead.
Mm-hmm. True.
What about you? Pro or con?
It's definitely a con, but I don't know if it's a deal breaker. It's a con because we would have conflicting ideas, and it would have to be a situation where that person could live with the fact that I wasn't going to be born again.
But you will.
That would drive me nuts. That would drive me crazy.
I know it does today. Today it drives you nuts.
And if you're thinking of a long-term relationship, then you're going to have, differences of ideas of the way you want to raise your kids. So.
Oh, shit. You do whatever you want to. I don't care. Make them believe whatever craziness you come up with. It's their fault they're young.
Well, the child does take the mother's religion, so atheist. All right.
Your
PC
turn.
and D?
PC and D.
PC and D.
PC and D. Let's see who Fez is going to turn down this time.
PC and D
Yeah.
has a psychic advisor that they call every day. And they take their advice and live their life by their psychic partner.
Con for them, because I would be constantly putting it out. Remember what your psychic advisor told you? Didn't come true.
But not a con for you? You think neutral for you?
I think I can fuck around with anybody's shit. I mean, for entertainment purposes. That's our hallway that loud?
That is screaming in the hallway.
That sounds like we're in Columbine.
Oh, God.
I thought I just heard a Columbine type of attack. Fez, Psychic Avenger.
I'm going con because if they're paying attention to the psychic and what they say, I'm nervous enough. I don't want someone saying, oh, we can't take this flight. Because
That would be helpful, though. That's helpful.
If it works.
Yeah, I would have to wait and see that the plane went down while we were still sitting in the living room.
But see, here's the thing. For you, I'm sure the psychic advisor would tell him to get rid of you.
See, that's another con.
You don't need that. Suddenly I had this Gary Spivey. So the person is a total rube, calls up his psychic. A-Train.
Pro for me.
You would like it.
Yes. That's because then that's less time that I have to spend listening to how everything went wrong today. They can call the psychic advisor who can give them advice and tell them, maybe you should try this.
This is like last week. You like your space?
Yeah,
You
I
like
do.
your time alone?
Exactly.
You don't want to be bothered
I need
with
me
this
time.
woman.
I'm very social, but
This is why Opie's got a lot of problems with you. And my psychic advisor was saying you're not bringing enough content to your new job. Seems like you're just floating. What do you got, E-Rock?
I'm neutral on it because it doesn't really bother me. But on the other hand, I'd be entertained as well based on what what the advisor is saying to them and how they're going to live their life. So it's not really affecting me. So I'm kind of neutral on it.
But you guys make psychic advisors like less annoying than Christianity. You're like, oh yeah, I can put up with a psychic advisor,
Yeah.
not so much a Christian.
That's true.
well, because I don't think I would ever have to have a direct correspondence with the advisor.
No, but her decisions are going to be totally on. I'm like, no, we have to live in a house facing a mountain. There's always that vague thing. I see you in a house near water. And I'm like, I live in Florida, so could that be it? We used to have psychics on the show like everybody did because they would just light up the phones. And people still, if you bring a psychic in here today, the phones will just be jammed all day. I was wondering whether I should divorce my wife and quit my job. Really? You're going to ask a stranger on the phone this?
I'm going to astral project.
Yeah.
And I'm back.
And I'm back, and I'm picking this up right now. Is there something in your house that was left to you, like by a dead person? Yeah, that means that they're still with you, and they're around that. So if you hold that in your hand... One time we had a psychic on the show, and this is when we were at NEW, and whatever they would say to me, I would just be like this, holy shit, that's so dead on. That is so weird. And I'd be like, that was my grandfather. And then they were like, yeah, something with baseball. He used to carry a baseball bat with him wherever he went. We used to call him Old Bat Boy. And they were like so happy. And then they would constantly try to get back on our show. Like, remember how good I did? Like, nah, it wasn't that good. Oh, remember when you did The Hypnotist? Another show here contacted that hypnotist to steal away from us.
Really?
Yeah. First went to me and said, could we share the hypnotist? And I said, yeah, I'll call him and we'll book him on both shows. And now they went around us and claim jumped.
But you don't want to name names on the show.
Let's just say it's Michelle from the Jenny Show, who we treat it like a niece to us. Stephanie, you're on the Ron Fez show.
Yes, I have a question for you. Are you an atheist or an agnostic?
I'm neither of those things. I'm a Roman Catholic. I'm a Roman Catholic who has been blessed in the blood of Christ. Okay? I'm one of those people that gets it all and just occasionally has to go to confession.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I wanted to know.
A Roman Catholic. Rome. You know, the Pope's coming. Trying to get him on the show. Trying to get him on, but seems like he's pretty busy right now.
Pope seems like a good dude, as far as popes go.
Well, as far as popes go, I still would like to just see him once in a pair of pants before I judged him completely. See, that's the thing. I think changing religion is cheating. You can believe whatever you want, but it's like if you change your name, you're a liar. If you change your religion, it's not. Your religion wasn't up to you. You were just given that.
I think that with Catholics, with Judaism, I think it's this way too, where it's more like a cultural thing
Right.
that you've inherited,
Right.
and less like your belief system. So it's like you're Catholic because that's what your family is, just like you're Jewish because that's what your family is.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of rare to find Catholics who are like, especially younger Catholics.
Hardcore?
Or hardcore.
Yeah. They're like, I don't know, I do some shit down there, but I'm in with them.
Yeah.
I do my kind of thing. And you're like, well, you're not paying attention to the rules then, because you can't do your kind of thing. Yeah, I do. I like to go there and like Christmas Eve, you know, good Catholic. They're once a year, drunk.
Old midnight mass.
Midnight mass, load it. Where you just see people at midnight mass like this. Oh, Jesus. Just their head going back and forth. All right, give us another one before we got to go to break.
PC&D.
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 Is it ginger?
Deal breaker. Because a Kathleen from the Bronx. I can't be around that kind of temper. I can't be around a woman that wants to kill me while I sleep.
Well, a ginger lady is much different than a ginger man.
They still have anger issues.
Actually, they do.
Julianne Moore will slice your throat. I mean, yes, they're incredibly sexy, but they will kill you while you sleep.
I'm going to go pro for me because it just will be nice not to be the fairest person in the
The
relationship.
fairest one of them all.
Fairest skinned. I would just feel so tan all the time, even in winter.
Stay outside a little bit.
Just put your arm next to mine.
Here's why I wouldn't do it. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-dun, dun, dun, dun. The quiet man. You're constantly in a battle with this woman. Oh, she's walking him back the whole long way. You know, you got to throw the money into the thing just to prove that you're standing up, and you have to fist fight her brother just to make her feel like you love her. It's too much. What about for you?
I'm neutral because I don't have any particular attention to redheads, but my mom is a redhead and she's cool as shit. So
Yeah, she's cool to you. Okay? Yeah, they love their kids.
she doesn't fuck around, yeah.
Yeah, they're always ready to battle.
Yeah. She scraps.
Now, have you had to put up with a lot of people asking you if your mom is a fire crotch?
Yes.
See, that's the thing that we got. He just lost it. Didn't see it coming, big man. E-Rock, what about for you?
No, it's a con because one of my earliest memories as a kid was my mom always told me she wanted redheaded grandchildren.
Yeah.
And it just pissed me off for some reason. And growing up, I just never had an attraction to redheads because of that.
But doesn't your wife sometimes have red hair?
It's not naturally red. It's more of an electric red. But yeah, ever since as a kid, my mom's just like, "Oh, I want redheaded grandchildren," and I
That's
just
what
was
she
like,
would
"I
say to you.
absolutely do not want this at all."
Now, the funniest thing, and I'd never known about this before, but East Side Dave McDonald told me this story. He said that when he was 5 or 6 or 7, it was like being a celebrity. That he was a little redheaded boy. Wherever he went, people ratted him and said, "You're so cute. You're so adorable. He's so cute." They would ask his mom questions. And then when he was 13, everyone decided that he was hideous and ugly and Ronald McDonald. Like they just turn on you and start to call you Ginger and all that kind of shit. And he goes, it wouldn't have been so bad if it had always been that way. But when he was little, it was like he was a child star because he looked like a child star. Like if you see pictures of him, you're like, yeah, he should have been on TV, you know? So I didn't know that, but apparently it happens to a lot of redheaded boys. Girls, obviously, it's much easier to, you know, to move around like that. All right, the big cat has got to prowl. The big cat has to feast. He's got to hunt. He's out after his prey right now. What do you got, Fez Watley?
This one, I am going to say pro.
Oh, positive one.
Because of what you brought up, the paleness. I'm not really the outdoorsy type or the even leave the apartment type. Mm-hmm. If I have a partner who's afraid of getting burned, I can say, let's just stay in and it'll be fine. And then also, you know, if we have kids, they'll be adopted, so I don't have to worry about passing it along and having a redheaded kid who does get teased like Eastside Dave.
Sounds like somebody wants Dave. And we've all thought that for a long time. Because you were always weirdly jealous of his chick. And that came up a lot. We used to talk about it. We're like, why does he care? I always thought that you crushed on Dave.
I thought so from the beard porn video.
The beard porn video.
Yes, I have a porn background.
But you guys spanked in each other's face, and that made me think, is there something going on with them? Is there something happening there?
They're very close.
They're the best of friends.
Too friendly, if you know what I mean.
See, Fez has a pro now. He had a pro. So there you go.
Yeah, I know. Well, he didn't want to back me up from what I said earlier. Why keep it consistent? Scott in Tennessee.
Hey, is this Bennington?
This is Bennington.
Hey, my girlfriend and I went and saw Inherent Vice, and I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I absolutely loved it. And she absolutely hated it and left in a bad mood. I'm just wondering how two people that get along so well can have such completely different views of the same movie. Any
Deal
thoughts?
breaker
or
for
have
me.
you seen it?
If a woman had a problem with a P.T. Anderson movie, deal breaker.
I think for me too, it sounds shallow, but it would be a lifestyle difference.
I'll tell you this: I saw an Albert Brooks movie with a girl, and she was like, "Oh, he's acting disgusting," and I was laughing and crying at how funny he was, and I had to say to her in the theater, "This thing is never, it's not."
Albert Brooks is probably a pretty good litmus test there.
For any human being.
Yes.
First of all, it would be a deal breaker for me if she hadn't seen all of his films. If she goes, "Oh, I've only seen some Albert Brooks films," I'd be like, deal breaker.
You could play that for a business partner just to see if you really want to get into business with this person. Trust everything.
Should I ask Fez this?
Say yes, Fez.
Just
say yes.
I'm still mad at myself for saying yes to the redhead. And if you wanna try, so here we got to make up this deal. While you're playing your PP artist today, can we do her with the small faces? Tin Soldier, a song that never got a lot of play in this country, but I think something like a couple years ago, like Mojo magazine did it as the #1 song of all time.
It's
so good. It's beloved in England and never played here.
I don't think it's cheating. I mean, first of all,
they're playing with her on the first song we played. That's them playing with her on a.
Is that right?
Groovy. She is the backing vocalist, but I think she's an intricate part of that song, and I
Okay.
think we could go ahead and.
I've even decided now, even if it is cheating, I'm doing it anyway. We'll be right back. It's Bennington.
Sit down, have a seat. We're all going to do a radio show. Bennington will be right back.
Oh, guys, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. If you really want to dominate Valentine's Day, and I do, I want to dominate. I want to crush Valentine's Day. Send the 50 Shades of Grey Bear from Vermont Teddy Bear. That's right, the 50 Shades of Grey Bear. That's how you dominate Valentine's Day. What's better? Well, first, let me just say, yeah, just in time for the movie opening. He's available exclusively at VermontTeddyBear.com. What's better than pairing the exclusive 50 Shades of Grey Bear with a couple of tickets to the hottest movie ticket this month? Specially designed for fans of the best-selling story. The 50 Shades of Grey Bear features smoldering gray eyes, a suit, and a silk tie, mask, and even comes with a set of mini handcuffs. If you don't think she's into that kind of thing, think again, dudes. She read the book and she can't wait for the movie. Indulge her and your darkest desires. Tie down the limited edition 50 Shades of Grey Bear at VermontTeddyBear.com. She can't help but submit to loving him and you. Includes free gift packaging, overnight delivery guaranteed for February 14th. If ordered by 6 p.m. Eastern today, to dominate Valentine's Day, call 1-800-BEAR. No, let me just correct you that. I want you to write this down right now, wherever you are. 1-800-829-BEAR. Or visit VermontTeddyBear.com. Be like me, A-Train, and E-Rock. We're all setting out to dominate Valentine's Day. We're all getting our checks to 50 Shades of Grey Bear. Give her a little idea and say, hey, not only are you getting the bear, we're going out to the movie. How's that for Romance in the Stone? That's the exclusive 50 Shades of Grey Bear only at VermontTeddyBear.com. And do me a favor. Tell them that Opie sent you. I haven't brought this up all day, but Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What's the number one gift? Roses? But hey, they only last a week. Steven Singer Jewelers has the perfect solution. His famous real long stem premium roses, lavishly dipped in 24-karat gold. Picture a real American Beauty rose, like from the movie American Beauty, preserved forever in 24-karat pure gold. They're the only rose guaranteed to last a lifetime, starting at just $59. These magnificent roses are available now at Steven Singer Jewelers. Located at the other corner of 8th and Walnut, Steven has extended hours, open until 7 p.m. tonight. To make your Valentine's Day shopping easy, Steven's premium long stem roses dipped in gold are available in Valentine's Day Red. And you can see his entire selection of beautiful roses at IHateStevenSinger.com. Starting at just $59. They come in Steven's exclusive gold gift box with your own personalized message of love. Buy a rose that will last a lifetime. What did Poison say to you? Every rose has its thorn. Yeah? Not this rose. So you're wrong, Poison. Again. What did Seal say? Something about a rose, too. Bette Midler singing about roses. Why they do this? It's the most romantic thing ever. But why would you want a rose that dies? Go over to IHateStevenSinger.com or head down to the other corner of 8th and Walnut. It's open till 7 o'clock tonight. What are you waiting for, dude? I'm imploring you, do not ruin this Valentine's Day, okay? I'm begging you. Look into your heart! Look into your heart! We're not like them! We're not animals! Yeah, I'll go there. Thank you. You'll never hear from me again. I'm going to go to I Hate Steven. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're never going to see me. Would you please, for once in your life, just listen to me when I'm trying to tell you something about Valentine's Day? Okay? Because this is more important than anything else you're ever going to do in your life. You're going to give her a gift that's going to last forever, Jack. That's like giving her the moon. Only it's real, unlike the moon. Do what I do every year this time of year. I head down to the other corner of 8th and Walnut. I go in the last minute. I don't even get there till like 6:45. I wait until they're trying to lock the door, and I'm like, look into your heart! We're not like them! We're not animals! Please, Steven Singer Jewelers, do you have any kind of a smart device, whether it's a computer or a phone? Use it right now. Just take my word for it. Just forget everything you're doing. Right now, go to IHateStevenSinger.com. If you do that, the rest of your life is going to be fantastic. She'll never be mad at you again. You're not going to be a loser like those drunk friends of yours. You're going to be a winner. Go over right now. IHateStevenSinger.com.
This is Bennington, Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206.
And we're done. The Small Faces with P.P. Arnold. Today's house band. The Small Faces turning into the Faces is one of the craziest things ever because it's like two separately but connected great rock and roll bands.
Yeah, I feel like this band is incredibly underrated. Small Faces. Or you don't hear people talk about them very much, but that song is incredible.
Well,
it's like such a sexy, sexy rock and roll song.
It's a great, great rock and roll song. I brought up Steve Marriott, which people, you wouldn't even see someone that wouldn't even care to even try to play guitar that way today. You know what I mean? That whole thing where it just seems like the guitar is coming right out of the person's soul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We moved on. What do we got now? We got electronic dance music, and we got the drop. That's cool. But, just go nuts for that.
Did you hear that Taylor Swift album? That's
everybody loves it. What is it, 1989?
Yeah,
1979.
89.
It's one of those years. It's a year that she wasn't alive for. She went to sing to everybody about. You think Smashing Pumpkins are like, well, she's off by 10 years. 79 is where it's at.
I love that song.
I don't know why I had to act like they were all these sassy gay men.
It's us, Smashing Pumpkins.
We're the Smashing Pumpkins, smashing up the world. So tomorrow's the big Valentine's Day. You got anything planned, or you guys chill?
Tomorrow I'm working.
But you're not doing a thing where it's like an extra. Do you expect something?
No. It's not really
from
my thing.
That man of yours.
Although I'm not gonna lie, I like flowers.
You like to get a little something?
I like flowers.
What's wrong with making an attempt?
Yeah.
Why don't you get him flowers then?
I'm going to. I'm gonna make a dessert. I'm gonna make dinner. Make a nice dessert. Do something. I'm gonna do that tonight.
You're very 1958, and I admire that.
I like to bake.
So what kind of desserts you get?
I don't know. His favorite is apple pie. He's American as apple pie.
This is how American he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I trust anyone who picks pie over cake.
Well, you don't trust me, sir. You don't trust me.
I never have. So get that straight.
And I'm into baking pies.
I know you.
It is my interest.
You like to do the baking. I've never really attempted to bake like that myself. It seems too hard. It's too exact.
It's tricky.
Yeah.
It's not an easy.
Well, my mom is so happy that you bake.
She's super psyched on it.
Yeah.
And it's a fun thing that we can connect on. She likes to give me recipes.
Well, not only that, but she thinks that you guys have everything in common. And I'll be just like, I want to just say, well, just baking. I can't tell you how weird she is besides that.
That's the only normal thing about her.
She actually said to me, she's like, that's my, I'm like, huh? Because you have other grandchildren. They just don't bake.
Yeah.
Let's just not act like that's the only thing that matters.
Do they have pies as an interest?
Yeah.
As I do.
Well, it's, see, here's my problem with pie. And you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm sure I'm going to generate a lot of heat for this, but I don't think you can improve upon fruit in its natural state. Okay. I think the best a blueberry tastes is when it's a fresh blueberry, a pear, an apple.
But if you're using fresh ingredients and then immediately bake, I don't get down with that pie filling stuff.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't think it's as tasty when it's melted down in heat as it is if you just pick it off a tree and then have an immigrant wash it for you and bring it to you.
Yeah. But
that's how I like it.
What about hot and covered in sugar? Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
I think you'd be better off rolling your strawberries in some sugar and then plopping them into your mouth and going like this. That soup is sweet. Thank God you didn't heat it up too much and wrap it in crust.
Was that Mitch?
I think it was. I think that's who that was. So you're going to bake tomorrow.
I'm going to bake.
Yeah. That's good. That's the way to go. I think it's, I do think it's a little amateur day to get caught up in the.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get mad at somebody because they haven't done something correctly.
Very silly.
Now, when you were a little kid, did they make you have a Valentine's party where you had to get all the kids cards?
Yep.
Did they make an announcement like you're getting everyone cards, not just your friends?
I think that was made clear to us that it.
Yeah.
I know I always did. Some people didn't, but I always did.
I always say some of you will be getting some cards from me.
Some.
Not you kids who snitch and rat.
I choose you.
Just write on a Valentine's card. I know that's you that's been squealing to the teacher. See you at 3 o'clock next to the bike rack. I'm not going out there then.
P.S. Be my Valentine.
P.S. I choose you to get beaten up at 3 o'clock next to the bike rack.
P.S. You're too sweet to be forgotten.
To beat up next to the bike rack. And then that goes like this. Well, I'm going to call my mom to pick me up out front. And I will be walked out there. I see kids leaving school, like where 2 teachers would walk them out, like they were taking JFK out. Like, okay, it's like the way they moved Charlie Manson. Everybody down. You're like on the playground. Get down. We're moving this person through. He's under our protection.
What did he do to deserve this?
Hey, he's over there. He's fucking giving out talkers' names.
I don't take kindly to a snitch, so.
No, I don't like anybody who takes the time with the teacher's out of the room to write down people who've been talking. It's just as easy when they come back to say, no one was talking. There's no way we can fail here if we stick together.
And then nothing's worse than a child you can forgive, but an adult who takes on the snitches.
Well, what adult was in your class that was snitching on people?
The teacher to the principal.
I consider a teacher a snitch. You were once one of us. You know how hard it is to sit quietly.
They'll snitch to a parent.
Yeah, they do. I'm a little worried about your child. He doesn't seem to like math a lot. I don't know why, but during divisions, he just starts to draw pictures or write names of bands. All right, we're doing all this work, and I look at your notebook, and you just wrote The Who over and over in block lettering. Why would you do that? I don't know, I just think they're good when you think about it. Like, out here in the fields, you know what I mean? The Who.
So I just thought I'd write that.
Yeah.
Just write that down.
I thought I would write The Who as a way of saying this is a band I like. And I also like The Clash, so I wrote that. Live.
What if people still did that with like adults still like Sharpied things that they liked, like on their purse or like on their iPhone?
Yeah, but now they would just be writing stuff like golf. You know what I mean? Just be writing these dull things. Big screen TV. You know what I mean? Like that's your wants and desires are so less edgy the older you get.
A good night's sleep.
Yeah. Nap and quiet. Not riot, just quiet. Oh, speaking of quiet riot, and I normally am, there's a rockumentary on that you've got to see about these guys. You're familiar with the band, right?
Sure.
There was like 4 of them in the band. Over the course of their career, there's been like 31 guys in that band. And it is so damn funny. It's so not meaning to be hilariously funny.
This is a new documentary?
Rockumentary. Yeah, I think it's fairly new. It's on one of the Showtimes or HBOs.
Cool.
I'm on a pay platform where I pay them to bring me things that have been about 9 months old.
That's great.
Yeah. I pay them to do stuff long after Netflix has it. But what's really funny about the band is obviously like there's bitterness, but you're like, you dudes only have like 3 songs that people know and only one of them that you wrote, and you're pissed that you're not making more money 31 years after that?
The time is done, mate.
Yeah. You were lucky at all. You were lucky enough. Still writing your name on my notebook. And then I'm going to try to write every guy's name who's ever played in the band. All 31 of you.
I'm going to check that out.
You got to chickadee check it.
Before you...
Riggedy wreck it.
Mm-hmm. I will.
If you do have a favorite, I'm going to have the metal guys back in from that metal show because I believe in their 19th season. They've done 19 seasons in like 8 years. I don't know how they do it. Their space time is phenomenal. But do you have a metal go-to band?
I don't know that I do.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with it.
No,
Just,
but there's no one that you'll say, this is my metal boys. What about the Led Zeppelin, the hard rock thing?
What? I mean, I guess that's metal, right?
Not really. Not to real metal people. They consider the rock to be hard, but not metal.
Right. I think that's where maybe I part. I'll follow you to hard, but once it turns to metal, too hard.
Too hard for me. Too scary.
Too hard, too cold, as metal is.
Metal's been made. Did you see who won the Grammy for Best Metal Band? It started, Best Metal Song was the Tenacious D.
Very funny.
Yeah, and it's always funny because there's nothing dumber than a Grammy or the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that people take incredibly serious.
Yeah.
Like I even said, like, why do I give a shit about the Oscars? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change the person's work. But a Grammy, to me, even less so. It's like you don't see them paying a lot of attention to it at all.
Yeah.
The fact that they picked Tenacious D
goes to
show you just how silly and how much it doesn't matter at all.
Man, I really liked Tenacious D when I was a kid.
What's not to like?
It was a fun time.
They're maybe the greatest band that's ever lived. And they write anthems.
They do. Tribute
is amazing. Hey, I want you to go over to the Interbank today. There's a couple of great articles. One is on the 3rd annual Patrice O'Neill benefit. It's a recap with photos, and you'll be able to see this lineup of great comedians, and Opie standing right in the middle. It's just like they're his wings. These are all like he could flap the comedians if he wanted to. But it's great that those guys still do that for Patrice, and fantastic night of comedy. It sells out incredibly quick. They could probably do that for a month straight if they wanted to. And then an article and an interview with Nick DiPaolo. Amy interviewed him. It's about his new special that's coming up, Another Senseless Killing, and it's about all of his buddies, Attell, Colin, Louis, great bunch of comedians that he came up with. John, in Texas, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Doing.
Hey, man.
Well, so add in here. A great show, man. It's only a segment and I really enjoy it. You guys.
It is really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, what I called about Mastodon. They were a Grammy nominee up against Tenacious D, and I wish for the life of me I could remember the song, but unfortunately I can't. They're a phenomenal metal band.
Yeah, they are great.
People like them. They're not as growly, as deep.
Mm-hmm.
As a lot of, say, like Darkest Hour, that type of stuff. But their riffs, man, they're just
stuff.
Heavenly, absolutely heavenly.
I think my favorite song that they did is the Ballad of the Magical Axe, and it's about finding this axe. And it's just phenomenal. It's just great.
It's that Viking spirit. Oh, yes, I want to get out there, guys. Again, I love the show. Y'all have a good day.
Hey, thanks for the Mastodon update, too, man. Rich, Michigan.
Hey, Roddy, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Hey, I think I found out why Fez does the live reads on the Ron and Fez show today.
Yeah.
You do a good job. You put a lot of energy into it.
Well, we used to do them together, and then I was taken off of that.
Band?
Yeah. We were actually quite famous at one point for our live reads. Fez does a much better job. He gives it the strength that it needs.
Professional touch,
Yeah.
perhaps?
And he also does it in dynamic pentameter, which you don't hear people normally
That's
do
really
that.
impressive.
How does that work? Ba-ba-da-ba-da. We're all doing this.
Mhm.
Talking this way.
I don't know exactly the
We're
syllable
talking
count.
this way. Yay, yay, yay.
7s and 14s might be involved somehow. I can't remember.
7s and 14s should be involved in everything, because that's Commander Quaalude. Fly 714, if you know what I'm doing. I would also write that on my notebook. Yeah.
You had a pretty cool notebook.
Well, it's what in the notebook that was the worst because I kept that pretty clean. And then when they said, "Do you write your notes down?" I go like this. Why would I write it down when I got it right here? I like it in the noggin. Sean, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's up? Great show, guys.
Yes.
Ronnie, you remember back in like '88 when Jethro Tull beat Metallica for the Grammys? Everybody was outraged.
No Jethro Tull.
But the thing is, I was happy that day because I told everybody, before we know it, we'll be calling these guys Selloutica for cutting their hair.
Definitely. I saw that Quiet Riot documentary, too.
It's amazing, right?
Oh, my God. They fired the singer because he said, "Oh, yeah," instead of "hell yeah" or something.
Yeah. I mean, they're like, "What are you doing, dude? You're standing still."
And they were playing like, I don't know, a small club or something.
Yeah, they were playing this club, and the guy was like singing one of their big hits that they covered from Slade. And there was like a stripper pole, and you just saw him just like leaning against it during the show. You see the drummer like, "Motherfucker!" Like, you're going to give them a chance to rock. That's the thing about those guys, is like they have a love for rock that is so pure that you have to love it. You know what I mean? A guy who's like given himself to 50 years to just keep rocking. You got to love that.
Passionate, guys.
Yeah.
Passionate.
That's the passion.
It's the horse sense of the guy.
It's the horse sense of the guy. I mean, if you look at groups like Quiet Riot, we're just ropes hanging off the Goodyear blimp of them. Okay? That's how big they are. That's how massive. Are you ready for us to come to your town and rock your asses? Yeah, dude. Remember how excited you'd be to hear any band yell out the name of your town?
Mm-hmm. It was very exciting.
We've been on this tour a lot, but no parties like Philadelphia. And we'd be like, yes, it's so fucking true. And finally, we're being recognized for the amount of alcohol and angel dust that we intake. You get us.
Although in New York, if they say something like that, we're like, yeah, we're pretty great. Sure.
Yeah, we were kind of a mecca for fashion and commerce, entertainment. So yeah, we get that. This is what's weird about New York is like Kanye did a free show like 40 feet away last night. And everyone's like, "You going to go over and see the free show?" And people were like, "It's a little cold." So no.
Too chilly for that.
Yeah. That's not on my way home, really. I'd have to go over there and then come back.
This is an outdoor music festival weather right now.
Well, they say it's 3 degrees today, but the wind chill factor is minus 110.
I thought I felt cold when I was out there.
It's colder than space, they said. They said you'd be better off taking your jacket off in space than you would be with a hat and gloves in New York City. I turned on the weather this morning. Well, first of all, the mayor told people not to go out unless they had to. I'm like, that's all they ever do.
We all have to go to work.
I go, the only time I go out is when I have to. If I could stay on the couch, that's where I would stay. I'm out now because I have to.
I'm going to take that advice for the next month.
Yeah.
Well, the mayor said.
The mayor doesn't want me outside. But I saw the mayor when he was doing it. He was actually crying at the time. And he goes like this, "I think most here are going to be dead." But it is that cold.
It is.
And Boston has had 560 feet of snow this year.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's not okay what's happening to them.
The mayor of New York City, and his name is, I think it's Big Pete de Blasio, but I'm not sure. But But he looks like a Big Pete. Like, trust me, it's me, Big Pete de Blasio.
He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, he has to be because he married an African-American woman. So you got to be tall to pull that off.
Sure. And she's petite.
She's, next to him.
Maybe
anybody is.
She's a normal size.
Yeah.
I don't know. She looks very petite next to him.
He looks like he should be on the Empire State Building just swatting at planes when they're trying to get close. He got elected with, I think, 98% of the vote and then hasn't had a good day since.
It's just everyone is so mad that they picked him.
Yeah,
he had such a good turnout for him, and then everyone
they went crazy
immediately
for him.
hates
Everything
him.
but my neighborhood went crazy for him.
Yeah. Maybe you in Staten Island.
But he actually said on the news this morning, when he was talking about this cold, he goes, I don't see the dogs living through this. He goes, if it gets so cold, you might have to cut your dog open and climb inside it like Han Solo did.
Birdie?
Not Birdie. Not that bird dog. Did you see the picture that people sent me of dogs that look like Birdie?
I did. It's so cute.
Yeah.
She really does look like popcorn.
Yeah, it kind of made. That's the dog's name was Popcorn. I just felt like that dog's ripping off Birdie. Coming up is the show at 10 o'clock, which is E-Rock. What do we call that show?
Accelerated.
Good, because I was going to call it Didacted, and there was a little part of me who says, "Do not say Didacted," because that's
incorrect.
Just sounds like I've taken things out of the papers that belong there. But explain Accelerated to everybody.
It's highlights of all the shows that are on the Opie radio channel throughout the last week.
And you just get one just jokey show after another.
Just quick little clips of everything that was really good.
Like Foss and Bonnie, boom. Sam, boom.
Right.
Sam's doing his show at 3 o'clock today, and it's a 3-hour show, and it's a salute to Haystacks Calhoun. And I had a chance to hear, I had a chance to hear some of it, and I was sobbing. I was openly sobbing. It was so touching. But Sam does a marvelous job. 3 o'clock he'll be on.
Awesome.
Yeah. I think what he's going to do is bring in some of the other people and try to get them to fight with each other. That's his thing. Well, he's turned on you, right, A-Train? That's why you got problems with Opie?
Yeah, pretty much. It's all Sam. Yeah.
All right. Now, are you doing his show today, too?
I'll probably be here for the first hour, and then I got to take off.
And you're going where?
I'm going up to Foxwoods. Jim's got a show tonight up there.
Jim Norton. You
That's
should
right.
put out to people.
Jim Norton.
Is that show already sold out?
I believe so.
Yeah.
But I would check online. Or
Maybe
look for scalpers.
Yeah, maybe get a scalper ticket.
Yeah.
I'll go above the price of the ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I go for the scalpers. I go, I'll give you less than you want. And they go, what are you talking about? I go, I'm scalping you, dude. I'm scalping you.
The scalper has become the scalped.
I think that's almost anti-Native American.
Damn it.
But now I'm curious, was it Han Solo or was it Luke that climbed inside the dead dog?
Luke did.
Who did he do it with?
Just himself, and it was like...
Han Solo, I think, put Luke into the Tom.
So they were together,
Yeah.
like Han Solo shoved Luke in.
Yeah, he
Okay.
cut the dead animal open and put him in to keep him warm.
It was a big, white, fluffy...
Dog.
But like kind of like a
Space dog.
horse.
Like a space dog.
Kind of like a fluffy, white horse dog.
No, everybody
Love
loved
Dragon.
that scene, right? But what if they would have done that with a person? Would they have liked it as much?
Probably not. They would be...
Luke, I'm going to cut this girl open and stick you inside of her. That almost sounds a little like, 50 Shades.
Oh, my God.
Speaking of 50 Shades of Grey, Hard Rock Johnny lives that life. Johnny.
I'm a 50 Shades of Grey kind of guy.
Yeah. That's just your complexion.
So since that surgery, I've had bad complexion. It's a little gray. Not feeling good. That metal show was in its 28th season.
Okay.
The way that it works is every third show is a season. They consider it. That's the way Eddie calculates seasons.
Every time a bass player dies, it's a new season.
And an angel gets their wings. Both of those things happen when a bass player dies.
Tonight, we talked to the guys from Tesla.
They should have Slade on there so that way they can talk to the people that actually wrote the songs that Quiet Riot made famous.
Have you seen that documentary yet?
It was on the other night, and it was just hysterically great.
Eddie's in it.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
What good metal documentary doesn't have Eddie Trunk in it?
It's true. He's in them all.
I wish he was awake at this hour. It would be fun to have him call in just to tell you about it.
Well, he's doing my show in a couple weeks.
All right, that'll be good.
And he's
Which
bringing the
show?
whole
You have a
crew in.
lot of them. You have a lot of shows. What show is he doing?
You know, I get tired of people saying that to me like it's a bad thing. I heard that yesterday from Jenny Hutt.
No,
It's a great thing.
It's
All
the
your
best thing
shows.
ever. It's almost like Sirius XM. You could at almost any hour now find something by Ron Bennington.
Well, you know what I call Jenny Hutt show? Jenny Hutt football review. She is well, you know, I'm not even going to get into it, but I saw one host kiss her yesterday in the hall, and another host feeling her up, saying,
Ow.
"Oh, you're getting thin." I was just putting her hands all over, like I'm in ninth grade.
These are women that you're talking about?
I wish they were. I will say that they're effeminate, but they're not women. Yeah. A little tin soldier fire. Well, there's nothing. Johnny, I know I got to go to the doctor in a couple moments here. What time we bounce it out, E-Rock?
You're out in about 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes. So, do you need to say anything at all to the people out there who want a burger, but also want to see famous rock and roll pants?
Just come here. We got burgers and famous pants all over the place. More famous pants than you could ever imagine.
Wow.
I ate between Jim Morrison's pants one day, and it was so lovely.
They were leather, and they smelled wonderfully.
I'd like to do
really,
that.
if we're going to be honest. And one time he just wore pony. Isn't that weird that you could even have got around with that? All right, my friend.
Boys and girl, you have a wonderful weekend.
All right, my friend. Hey, Johnny. There goes Johnny. All right, we have got to move out of here so we can do the next program, which is going to be amazing. Then again, remember, at 12 o'clock, it's the Ron and Fez show. At 3 o'clock, it's Sam's just wind up show where he winds people up and it's like battling bots. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Bennington is going to be available later today on demand. And if it's not, do not complain to me. Last week we didn't get on demand properly and people went crazy.
Yeah, I also want to point out, if you search for Bennington by the show name, you'll find it. If you're looking for the channel, it's still Sirius XM Talk on the on-demand for some reason. It's not Opie Radio yet. So look under Sirius XM Talk or just search Bennington. It will show up.
There you go.
I love it. Tonight, Ron Bennington Interviews is on the Indie channel at 9 o'clock. And I'll be talking with my special guest, David Cross. David Cross for an hour in front of the unmasked audience. Gail, it was very fun having you here.
Thanks for having me again.
Please try to stay warm today.
I will.
I want you to be able to bake that pie, just a straight apple pie. You throw some ice cream on it?
Sure, yeah.
That's called a la mode. So remember that.
I will remember.
Johnny Appleseed would be very happy to know that that's still going on. Yes, E-Rock.
If I could, my show's on tonight at 8 o'clock.
How is that not on this? Chris, what are you doing tonight at 8 o'clock?
I have Kevin Smith's Comic Book Man live in studio today from AMC.
Those guys are a blast, too. I like those guys a lot. E-Rock, you tend to go towards the geekier side of life, right?
It's not even geekier anymore. It's all mainstream.
It's just life.
He goes to the mainstream part of life where the mainstreamers live. The geeks have won.
They took over.
Yeah. Every once in a while, you'll just run into a cool person. It's very rare. It's very rare. And they confuse people by the things that they say. But that is it for us. And when I say this is it, in a minute, you'll hear me, talking about Steven Singer. But Gail, I don't know when we're doing the next Bennington.
Yeah. It's a mystery.
Yeah, it's a mystery this
but
time.
It keeps you on your toes.
It does. It keeps you
like-
ready. It's like maybe a fire alarm goes off when we do Bennington.
And then we just go running.
Yeah, we just go running like, they need us.
I grab my coat.
Yeah. And then
Sometimes we
hopefully-
forget our phone.
Yeah, and then we just leap and we just stuck in a freeze frame. Like that. That's our thing. We freeze into a frame. Claw hand, everybody. Claw hand. And I'll see you in a couple hours for the Ron and Fez show next week on Mass. Dan Aykroyd. That's going to be a great one, so make sure you always pay attention to that. Over at the Interrobang, a lot of great articles, including the stuff on Patrice O'Neill and also Nick DePetta. Both those articles are fantastic. We'll see you guys later on Bennington.
You've been listening to Bennington, only on Opie Radio, XM 103, Sirius 206. You can listen to it again by going to Sirius XM On Demand.
Oh, Gail, before you leave, I want to tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give this to your man and tell him that you want this. Tell him he's got the 7 o'clock, but Valentine's Day is tomorrow. What do you think the number one gift is?
Roses?
Yeah, roses. I don't even know why to think about that. It's 100% roses. But you know the problem with roses is?
Too thorny.
No, they're just thorny enough. They die. They die.
Oh, God.
That's the problem. But what if they didn't die? What if a world was created where roses could last a lifetime? A genius by the name of Steven Singer has pulled that off. In his labs, the Steven Singer Jewelers has the perfect solution. Famous, real, long stem, premium roses, lavishly dipped in 24-karat gold. Pure gold. And it lives now forever. I'm thinking if that happens with roses, could it happen with people? They're the only rose guaranteed to last a lifetime. Not another guarantee is. And they start at just $59. These magnificent roses are available now at Steven Singer Jewelers, located at the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Steven has extended his hours. He's open to 7 o'clock tonight because he knows that you guys put this off. You haven't thought about it. So he's there for you. You can still fix Valentine's Day. It's not too late. Steven's premium long stem dip roses are available in Valentine's Day red, and you can see his entire collection of beautiful roses at IHateStevenSinger.com, starting at just $59. They come in Steven's exclusive gold gift box with your own personalized message of love. A message of love. And I'm saying this, all of us are in the gutter. All of us are in the gutter. But some of us are looking to the stars. Steven Singer understands that. He understands that with a rose that lasts a lifetime, so shall love. So shall love. Head on down to the other corner of 8th and Walnut. Open till 7 o'clock tonight. Q. Open at 7 o'clock tonight. No one's giving me a countdown. What are you waiting for, guys? Stop waiting. Steven Singer Jewelers. I hate StevenSinger.com.